Thursday, SportsCage, Access Communication, like he said. Thank you very much for making some time. It's going to be an interesting 3 hours once again. We are streaming through sportscage.com on our YouTube channel. Maybe you're out there listening on one of the audio streams coming through crystal clear there. And if not, 620 CKRM on the AM dial. Maz started something yesterday I loved. Calls from the Combine. Could get a sponsor for that. Colson is ready to take your texts and calls on the Prairie Land Rentals line. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street in Regina. Some nice weather coming up to get that, maybe that job you've been putting off in the yard done. They can rent anything from power tools to generators to skid steers, and they can deliver 600 Albert Street. All of our guests are going to be joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Western Pizza, perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites that you love. Our tickers are for Reliance, Heath Water Heater Rentals, Extreme Hockey and Sport, Regina Steelcraft Doors. I have with me today, co-hosting on Thursday, for Flooring Superstores, Trent Dickin and his team, it's Sharky. And I don't know how many of you out there have been waiting to hear Sharky's voice on the radio or the stream or watching him on YouTube this week. With what has happened in the CFL, Sharky, you and I haven't talked. I said, let's keep this organic on Thursday before you go, though. Before you go, because I know you're revved right now. You are that thoroughbred waiting to take off in the chute. We have had so many text messages this week. Yep. Colson, would it be fair to say messages on all platforms well over 1,000? Oh, yeah. Hands down. Yeah. And I was starting to look, and I was like, maybe it is more down the middle than a person would think, but you just get lost track of time. A lot of people are totally cool with change and what's going to happen. A lot of people are like, wrecking our game, Americanizing it, all that. They're hating me and us on here, which is fine, because the thing with this business that I learned 28 years ago when I actually started it. Can't make it. Then I left it and I came back and I'm doing this. I don't know why, but as you cannot please everybody, so go ahead and hate me, hate us, because people hate the Beatles. I know. Like you can go through the biggest Taylor Swift. Yeah, there's people that don't. You're right. So you can never please anyone in this business. I got thick skin too. I grew up with the name Barney. Trust me. You learn at a young age. Thick skin, water off a duck's back. You want to fire at me? Don't fire at Colson. Don't fire at anybody. Fire at me. Fire at Sharky. Yeah. It's okay. On that note, Sharky, the floor is yours. Monday morning, 11 a.m. our time. From there on, where's the blood pressure been? Awesome. Blood pressure's been awesome because I think there's so many great things that came out of this. I want to start with first the continuity of the same stadium no matter where you play. So the moving of the end zones was to make the same stadium in each facility. What an amazing move, right? Baseball has complete different stadiums, varied all over the place. Guys can't play in certain places because they can't hit left or they can't hit right or they're scared of that outfield, right? It's not a joke, but it's a challenge. Mm-hmm. What we've done is we've made every stadium the same by going to 15-yard end zones. Love that. Time clock. Love that. Love that move because our French friend there, the turd down guy, he would always start the clock faster than other officials when he was whistling it in, right? Now, we're not relying on the referee to figure out, is everybody ready? Is my best friend got his shoe tied? The play's just starting at 35 seconds. That was always the worst when you're playing kids. Yeah. When you're playing kids and the one kid's shoes always keep coming untied. Just go sock feet. Go to your mom and dad. Just get them to triple knot that, please. Anyway, another great rule change. Love that. Both benches being moved to the opposite sides. Common sense. Another great move. Love that. Now we get into the moves that are a little more controversial. The goalposts going to the back of the end zone.
If I told you we had to have a pylon between first and second base, you'd lose your mind. That would be a problem to the game. If I told you that we're going to have this wet spot in the middle of the arena and you should watch out and not skate through that, that would be a problem for the game. But we seem to think it's okay to put a big steel post right in the middle of the field in the end zone. Not only is it detriment to the health of the players, right? Because you're not always looking for that post first. Secondly, it's been in the way of the play. We've seen it, whether it's kicks, whether it's Cody Fajardo with the famous hit the upright, right?
Throw, yeah.
Take it out. How hard is it to take it out? Mm-hmm. So, again, total fan of that move. The only one I'm having trouble with is the 110 to 100 yards. And again, if that's more of a stadium issue, I can understand that. I don't see that as changing touchdowns a whole bunch, but I'm willing to let it ride and see where it goes. Now, if they came to me and said, Sharky, what's going to create more offense for our league? I wouldn't have changed anything, but added a fourth down. Because if you want more offense, leave the offense on the field. Okay, don't shake your head like that. Think about it. Think about it for a minute. If we take the two games, and they're very, very different, the NFL and CFL, if we played the NFL game on a CFL field with the same rules, what would it look like? And if we took the CFL game and didn't change any rules or size and played a fourth down, what would it look like? What would that do to offense in both of those games? It would be outstanding. We'd have games of 65 to 75. Nobody stands up during the game and high-fives you over a great punt. Ooh, that was a good kick. Love that punt. I hope we get some good punts in today. It'd be nice to see some good long punts.
Sorry to all your punting parents and punters out there.
Nobody high-fives, cheers, gets excited about the punt.
I was following along quite well until I feel that there's a gas leak and Sharky's struggling over there now.
No. If you want to change offense, if you want to create offense, that would be the thing to do. You didn't have to change any other rules. Add it down.
Colson, you want to jump in?
First off, you're going to have to fight Luke on that one because that's what he said yesterday. So there's that.
Okay.
But second,
I will lose. But anyway, carry on.
I don't think adding a fourth down would increase the offense. I think it would decrease it. Because what you see in the NFL is you've got 3 tries, and sometimes they're taking a fourth now. I read somewhere there are 20% people going for it on at least 4th and 2 now in the NFL. But if you add a fourth down, all you're doing is giving more incentive to run the ball and try and be secure with it, which 100%, we've got a bigger field. You can have more explosive plays with that, but running the ball is a slog.
Close. If we're third and three, we got to punt now. If we're 3rd and 3 in the other...
You don't have to.
Well, you don't have to, but you normally do. If you're 3rd and 3, you go for it. You're going to play that third down to go for your fourth down. And then you're 4th and 1, right? I'm just saying, if you wanted to create more offense, that was the thing that would do it. Having said that, all these other rule changes are outstanding, and I look forward to seeing the game in its new format.
I'm just saying, moving the field goals to the back and shrinking the field now, any distance, like, what is it, the 35-yard line would now be a 57-yard field goal attempt, right?
Yep.
So at the 35-yard line, you're either trusting your kicker a lot, you're either going for it, or you're punting. Which, if you're punting that, you got to control it within 40 yards because you don't want to go in back out the end zone because you don't get anything. Maybe you want the single in the end zone. So I don't think a fourth down would make that difference. And I also think at that point we would start having riots. So
I'm Colson. I will disagree with you all day. I've given the offense another down to make 3 yards. I've given them another down.
Yeah, but it's more exciting when they throw the ball to get the downs because that's the explosive plays than just running the ball.
We don't high five on a good punt.
I wish we would have.
Maybe you don't.
Part of me now.
Okay, if you do at your house, way to go, punter.
Hey,
nice job, punter.
I wasn't very good at punting, so when it was a good one, there was a high five.
I'm wishing now we would have maybe chatted about this before the show because you're coming across like an absolute lunatic.
No, I'm agreeing with all the changes. I am. I like the changes. I like what they're doing. I like the new ideas for the game. I'm just saying if offense was the key reason they did it, there was a different way to do it.
Prairieland Rentals text line. Dan, I like Sharky unless he helps me. I dislike Sharky unless he helps me haul hay on the weekend. Then he texted in, 4 down Sharky, hate him more now. Then again, shut Shark's mic off.
Okay, Danny, I'm not coming out to help move hay. All right? You're on your own and chase those horses by yourself. I don't want to know what you did with the chickens.
Okay, so I had this conversation with a former player last night, and he said, "Don't use my name." And he was on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
And he said, moving those goalposts is going to be so good for the offense.
Yes, I agree.
And open up more plays.
Yep.
And I said, well, what about Darian? And Darian said, it's kind of one of the things, like you had to lob it over a goalpost or you had to watch out for it. I played QB too. Like it's, you think about it now, it's like, that was difficult. And he says, Darian, can have his opinion. He says, watch how much more creativity / excitement / scoring there could be without that. Now, to the field length thing, that is probably the one that I'm still trying to decipher a bit on. Could they have left it?
That's the one I'm with you too.
So,
right?
See, I don't know. Don't say you're with me because I'm still on the fence on that one.
I'm mixed up on that one too.
I'm not going one way or the other on that. That makes for, like, you can really not kick if you left the field and you move the goalpost back, like your field goals.
The goalposts affect the punting more than the field goals. They change the punting dynamic, right? Because when the field goal posts were at the front, if you had a 57-yard field goal, it was from the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Now that's the 35-yard line. Mm-hmm. So a punter essentially from the 50-yard line, instead of his own 50, is gonna have to literally half punt the thing to not go through the end zone.
Yeah, accuracy on
right
punting.
So if there's one rule that kind of changed the way that one of the players is going to play, and that being the punter only, it would be the removing of the 55-yard line.
Here's another question. Colin on the YouTube chat saying, sorry, Sharky, you lost me on the 4 downs.
It's a more offense thing, Colin.
Yeah, no, okay.
Just think about the more offense.
I'm wondering, last night, is there any way they walk any of this back? And I asked Glenn, I asked Arash on the week, who else did I had whoever, and they were like, no. And then I'm like, what if who are the CFL's biggest sponsors? Like when you watch it, Daryl, for what company?
I don't know. Tim Hortons is there, obviously, right?
Save on Foods.
Save on Foods, yeah.
TSN big, probably huge with TSN and the league. So what if their ties to grassroots, something happens where all of a sudden there's some pressure on the CFL from major sponsors saying Rona, is Rona one? Home Heart.
Pure Later, right?
Pure Later, Tackle Hunger.
RBC.
So what if they say we're done? What if a few of them band together? Does that pressure change anything at this point? There'd be obviously a lot of closed door meetings, and
so what I would have done if I was if CFL commissioner for a day, I would have said things like the 35-second clock and the benches are automatic. We're going to do those, right? Maybe move the end zones just to make sure that every field's the same. But they could have gone to Canadian Junior or to U Sports and said, can you change these rules for this? Can you move your goalposts back? Can we do it for a year to see what the impact is on the game, right? They could have done that variation like hockey does with the American League, like baseball does with AAA. They try those rule changes at a different level before they bring them up. They could have done that in this instance, I think, if they really wanted to try something. But again, if you're moving the field around, if you're changing the field, you're doing it or not. Like you can't dip your toe in. You got to jump in the water.
Ed says Sharky's right. Current changes might increase TDs a tiny bit, but at the expense of field goals / rouge for a wash overall.
I don't think it's going to be a wash. I think what it's going to do, it's going to change some strategy without a doubt. It's going to change the role of your punter, which again, I think is kind of irrelevant. Nobody cheers for a punt, but it's going to change the role of your punter as much or more than anybody, right?
Where do you land on everybody the Americanization and the big bad United States and our inferiority complex that we have as Canadians is probably heightened more than I've seen in a long time.
They didn't Americanize it because there's 3 distinct rules in my mind that make it a Canadian game.
Yes, we've talked about
12 man, yard off the ball, movement before the snap.
3 downs.
3 downs if you
wide
like.
Field.
Wide. That's completely different. But those are 3 rules that the Americans don't go anywhere near, right? They're not adding a guy to the field. They're not giving him a line off the ball, and they're definitely not letting the offense start moving before the ball's snapped. Those are the things that make our game completely different, right? The 65 yards, yes, it's a different field. But those 3 rules, more than any, change the game. Right? And we didn't even touch those. We didn't even talk about those, right? So there's the Americanization argument. Jump back in your 72 Strato, get your skullet going, put on your bell bottoms, go back and live in your mother's plaid basement. That's where you go with that.
There's been some passionate. We had letters written to the league that were forwarded to us, being the death of the Canadian game, and then we've had people on the other side. The one message, and I would have to go back and look. It was from an American.
Okay.
Saying loves the Canadian game.
Yep.
He's going to wait and see about the changes. But he's like, it's still so different from me going to watch my college game here this weekend. I think he's from Montana.
Exactly. I don't know why anybody thinks it's Americanizing the game by moving the goalpost to the end. To me, that should have been done years ago, like eons ago. They should have been moved to the back. The 15-yard end zone is to make sure that all fields match. You can't go to Montreal and Toronto, have to play a different field size than you do going to Regina or Calgary or Winnipeg.
To be honest, I was okay with that too. Like, look,
yeah, that's fine.
You think about the 80s? Like how football, like we had that Memphis picture that we put up.
That's just terrible.
And baseball, look at this. What a circus. And you have baseball, like you said, that all played in different. Hockey's become somewhat uniformed at the pro level.
It is, without a doubt.
Remember when they put the net up in some hockey rinks? Some people lost their minds about that as well. So
remember when they took the red line out as a 2-line pass? We'll never be able to play. How are we going
to create more offense? No, it won't. So many people are saying that this is the start, and the Americanization, the start, we're going to be going to 4 downs, and they're going to get rid of the ratio. You would feel that is just strictly paranoia,
without
and again the inferiority complex of Canadians.
Yeah, without a doubt. We haven't touched this game in what? How long? When was the last time we had a big rule change like this? Other than going to the command center doing half the officiating, what's the last change? We haven't touched this game.
You're talking not weather-related stuff?
Yes. Yeah. Right?
My guess is moving the converts.
Yeah. But again, not an epic change to the game. It just tried to make it, right? That there was a chance it was going to be missed.
And the funny thing when you read up on things, and you can search it on Google, rule changes of American football.
They're changing all the time.
How do you think they felt in the 60s when they added the forward pass? Ooh.
Yeah.
Remember when they implemented the 2-point convert? Like, that's in our lifetime. That's like, I don't know, it feels like 20 years ago.
We did it.
We were doing it first.
We had it for years.
And they went with that.
If we changed our kickoff to that ridiculous thing they call a kickoff in the NFL, which by the way is a complete joke. It looks like a mess.
Safety fields.
Yeah, whatever. Right?
Safety thing, yeah.
Just throw it down there, and wherever it lands, that's where they start from then. Like, they don't have to.
That's how they play the area league that my daughter's playing in Regina Catholic elementary schools.
Great. The NFL's matched the 13 and under league here in Regina Catholic. Nice.
Safety. Mind you, the fields they play on are definitely not safe, but safety issue.
So don't get on this Americanization thing. It's not. It is simply an opportunity to, 1, make some things consistent across the league, and 2, give ourselves an opportunity for more offense.
Shorter field equals more opportunities for scoring majors. Kim in Kelowna texting in on the Prairie Land Rentals text line.
Kim.
Ed on the Prairie Land Rentals text line wants you to call him. I'm serious. Let's see how that goes.
Ed, I said if they asked me for a day, what would create more offense? Think about what I said, right? Yeah. Don't change any other rules.
Other notes here. Let's move on to the ride and practice and the injury report. Game status has just been released by the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Sean Bain Jr. available. Thomas Bertrand Houdon questionable. Tavon Campbell out. We knew that. Sam Emelis available. Jackson Ford out. Zach Fry out. Philippe Gagnon available.
The big lineman.
Nelson Lacombo out. We knew that was going to happen. Dre McCray questionable. Shane Ray is out. Joe Robustelli available. Marcus Sales available. Kean Schaefer-Baker questionable. Malik Straker out. And Nick Weeb is available. Philippe Gagnon thing came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Through the bye week. It was like... I asked Dave, and I was like, was he on the field? I don't know if a lot of people even recognize that he was out there coming back from the bye. That's huge.
What, he looked like Manning with the mustache and the fake nose and everything going out there?
Hard to, a body size like that. But yeah, no, he will definitely help. Tavon Campbell scares me.
Yeah, Sales being out or Sales being back is huge, right? Gives us more depth in the secondary like that. That was the weakness I thought against Montreal, was the two corners being hurt, and Cloud Bethel-Thompson took advantage of that.
We just got this text in because we said, hey, calls from the Combine. You can call in to toll-free 1-866-767-0620 or 936-6262. There you go, Ed. You can call Sharky. We'll have some time here.
During news.
No, we can have him on right now. I'm not afraid. How about a shout-out for Leo? Leo out there. He's a future star of the Ituna Avalanche. He's co-piloting the Combine today.
How old's Leo?
Shoot us a picture. 5-year-old son.
Nice.
Leo is getting some work in.
What are we taking off? What are we combining?
There you go. Yeah, what are we combining, Leo?
Yeah. Shouldn't Leo be driving the grain truck or the grain cart?
They on the farm, grain truck drivers, that the whole 16 get your license thing is way out the way, as I found out.
I was already driving then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So many buddies.
3 on the tree.
Canola. They're getting rid of canola.
I like it. Black gold.
There's guys that I know that I remember playing hockey with.
There's the photo of the little man. Love it.
Oh, Leo's a weapon. He's having fun with Dad on the Combine. They drive those grain trucks. I don't know what, 13, 14?
Yeah. Well, the first beers I had was a hot Calgary found under the seat.
We don't have to talk about drinking.
Well, that's what
I'm talking about illegal driving. At this point.
Found a hot Calgary under the seat while I was driving the grain truck.
There is a lot more to come to. The Regina Rams are in action Saturday at home against Manitoba. The exciting Regina Rams.
No
and you
kidding.
have no idea what happens week to week in this game. We're going to talk to head coach Mark McConkey tomorrow, get his take on the changes to the Canadian Football League game. Also talk about Manitoba. We have a prize pack to give away, same as we've been doing all week. 4 tickets, 2 adult, 2 youth. Maybe you can get Leo off the Combine. Does Leo get the day off on Saturday? 2 adult, 2 youth. Mosaic Stadium, 2 p.m. kickoff. We're also going to throw in 2 youth Ram hoodies and 2 Ram water bottles. So prize pack all day, 936-6262. You just got to text in Rams for that one. We'll take a quick break. It is the Sports Cage. Sharky's with me for Flooring Superstores. The Cage on Thursdays brought to you by Access Communications. We're streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com, and we're on the mighty 620 CKRM. Everybody be like Leo out there. Have a big smile on your face. Beautiful weather. Wish I was golfing right now, but if you're out there combining and harvesting, take care. Send us in your pictures, 936-6262, or your messages, or call. Ed still hasn't called. We gave him the chance to talk to Sharky. Brendan text on the YouTube chat. I love how people cry of the Americanization of the game but will buy and cheer on guys like Shane Ray, a Super Bowl champ, guys like Johnny Manziel and Chad Ochocinco. That was on the YouTube chat. And then another, okay. And Trent texted in, maybe they will make a change if there's pressure from sponsors. Earlier I said if Save On Foods, the big
Pure
car
Later
companies,
or
Pure Later or Woolworths, whatever the big companies are that sponsor the CFL, if they start backing out of things, is there any pressure there to step back or to make a change? I don't think that there would be, but you never know. It's like all of a sudden CFL football brought to you by Friends Confectionery on Broad Street. Like, would that
Save
do
on
anything?
gas on South Drive.
Would they do anything? Yeah, they also got other stuff at that gas station. But it's interesting if there'd be any pressure on that, because you think of like somebody in a high up position at one of these companies that spends a lot of money with TSN and a lot of money maybe with the CFL, and now their kids' football team or their junior team that they or their CIS team, if they say, listen, and then.
Yeah, but again, there's only one change that I really question, right? That I want somebody to explain it better to me, and hopefully Suits can do that. And I know he did that a little with you on Tuesday, but I hope Suits can do that.
Ed wants you to call him for something totally different.
Oh, okay.
Not the real changes. He has work for you.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
I like that. We're like a classified ad here for Sharky now. Ed, I'll pass on your number, Ed. That's awesome. Kate, one more text to get to, and we'll get some. Talk about field size change. It was the mid 80s when end zones went from 20 to 25 yards. I forgot about that.
Yep. Forgot that too.
25-yard end zone. I can remember sitting on Hemorrhoid Hill and players would dive for a catch and end up with the fans. Steve and Humboldt. Go Broncos.
Yeah, they did make it bigger. Yeah.
I was trying to look up if there was any old clips of 1979 when the NBA put in the 3-point line. Like if you were a diehard basketball fan back then,
huge deal.
Short shorts, back in the day, Kareem, skyhooks, and right,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden they put in this. Whoa!
What are you doing?
But then that's the other thing. People in the back here, Mike said, "What about the records? What about the CFL records?" For starters, I didn't even know if the CFL records are true because the stats. There are senior hockey leagues that keep stats 100 times better than the CFL.
Yeah.
That's not even a joke.
No, and don't go to U Sports. They're even worse. Yeah.
But the records out the window, like records in all sports are being, like the NFL records now are changed, and Major League Baseball, hockey, more games.
Not only has the game changed slightly with all these new records, but the athletes, the way they're made, the way they train, the way they look after themselves. I mean, I remember who's the great Finn that played for the Ducks? Solani. Solani said when he first played in the National Hockey League, after the game, there was cold beer in the dressing room. Now they're all drinking Powerades and these special drinks to recover and everything else. That's why he played so long. He wasn't drinking cold beer like the rest of them. So, yeah. I mean, records, that's an irrelevant conversation.
The chocolate milk now and the stuff to recover. That's the big thing. Keep the text coming. 936-62.
And we'll reach out to you shortly.
62. What is going on with the Toronto Blue Jays? And we're going to talk to Arash in hour 2 here.
Yeah, I look forward to that. Yeah.
Are you a hardcore Blue Jay fan?
Well, no, when they're in, I'm following. When they're in, I'm following. When they're out, yeah, not so much. But when they're in, I'm there. Yeah. I'm on the bandwagon right now.
Are you worried?
No, I'm not worried. No, because they've had highs and lows all year long, right? We're in a little bit of a dip. I'd rather have the dip now than when the playoffs start next week.
But what if they don't clinch the AL East? They got to do the wild card dance.
That's okay.
Oh, what?
You're in. You got to get in.
Yeah, but
they're in. That's the biggest thing.
You want better odds.
You do like the odds, but you got to get in first. They're in, right? Boston's not in yet. Boston's still got a battle to get in. So Boston had a lot more to play than the Blue Jays did.
Part of me thinks Sharky was dipping into the sauce before he came to the
not before the show.
Some of the comments, but
not doing work today.
I was around some guys last night, and they're hardcore Blue Jay fans, and one guy's a Blue Jay and a Leaf fan.
Oh, You imagine the crying towels in his house?
The torture.
Yeah.
Years
of
torture.
The alcoholism.
Imagine if he was a Cowboys fan too.
Yeah.
Okay, there was no need to do that. There was no need to throw that in the mix.
Have you watched that Netflix documentary yet?
No, I'm scared to.
No, you have to. It's really good.
Okay.
Takes you down a different
rabbit hole.
Different path where a lot of the stuff that they were doing and Jerry Jones, and it goes into all that. So yeah, we'll get to more Blue Jay talk when Arash Madani steps in at the start of hour number 2. Rams game.
Yes, Saturday.
Yeah. Manitoba. Yeah. Supposed to be a nice day for football. We are giving away that prize pack. Some of you are already texting in.
What do we got for start time on that? 2:00?
2 p.m. kickoff.
Okay.
We got 4 tickets, 2 adult, 2 youth, then 2 youth Rams hoodies, and 2 water bottles. Those Rams hoodies will fit a small adult as well.
They're big hoodies for kids.
I'm going to have Mark McConkey on the show tomorrow. And then the Thunder go to Saskatoon to take on the Hilltops.
You know, and both of them are at 5-1. Hilltops got a loss in there.
It's a Winnipeg.
Winnipeg's not a bad team. Like, they almost beat the Thunder, and if it wasn't for a 2-point convert try that had been going to overtime. So Winnipeg's a good ball team. Hilltops are a good ball team. Thunder's obviously right there. The other thing you got to look at when you talk about U Sports and you talk about the Rams, even though the Rams are 3-1, other than the game against U of A, they were won in the last place. Like, every game in that Canada West football is so tight. So tight. So there's no gimmies. There's no free spot on the bingo card. Calgary's coming in. They're a good football team. It's going to be a ton of fun Saturday.
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
Manitoba's 2-2. They went out with BC surprised early. Then they dumped the Huskies at home. Yeah, that Huskies, right. If I wasn't in Austin last weekend,
you'd have been there?
I would have been going to that game in Saskatoon. Plop down in Mom's basement. You were just in Saskatoon.
I was up there for a couple days. Yeah, doing a little work. Yeah, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Yeah, I'd like to be up there golfing, or way north. Would be nice right now. Yeah, but the Huskies nip the Rams, so 2-2.
Aren't they both 3-1?
Manitoba's 2-2. Huskies and Regina are 3-1. So yeah, get in if you want those Rams tickets. 936-6262. Okay, we'll go to break here. When we come back, it's our weekly look at high school football.
Love it.
Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain.
Who's got chili going?
That's the thing we need. hi@sportscage.com is our email. That's HI. We had some people text in games, what they thought this weekend was going to happen in games, a couple of name drops of players, but no one has messaged in about the chili game or the brisket game or pierogi and sausage game. And Ituna, I'm looking at you.
And you're picking Lemberg as the big team to beat. You're picking them as the.
Hafford hasn't lost in 5 years, or roughly around that, something like that.
Hafford.
Yeah, wagon country.
Oh.
A Ukrainian danced in Hafford when I was younger. That's what I remember about Hafford.
Once for a wedding. That's it.
Yeah, a peach drink in the concession. I was like 7 years old. It's a Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com and we're on 620 CKRM. There it is. The high school marching band music means that it's time for our weekly feature on high school football, Friday Night Lights, here on the Sports Cage. Thanks for tuning in, whether it's on the radio, 620 CKRM, through the streams, or at sportscage.com through our YouTube channel, and you're watching things here. All right, it's brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain, always on Saskatchewan's side. Let's start with 2A 6-a-side football. Today, 4 o'clock, coming up right away here. Lanigan, 0-1, looking for their first win of the season. They're hosting 1-0 Priestville. Shout out to whoever sent it into the Sports Cage email, hi@sportscage.com. They figure this one's going to be a tight battle with Priestville coming out with the win there. So we'll see how that goes. That's at 4 o'clock kickoff right away. Tomorrow we got Ituna hosting Wynyard. Ituna's 0-1. Wynyard is 2-0. Kiefer Prysiak, he's supposed to be a weapon for Wynyard. One to watch. Wynyard looking to go 3-0 there over winless Ituna. 2A 6-a-side Friday. Winless teams. 0-2 Davidson hosting 0-2 Assiniboia. Assiniboia making the trek there. Both teams winless. 9-a-side. Let's go. 4 p.m. today. Kickoff right away. The undefeated Melville squad, Benny Walchuk's team, they are traveling to Esterhazy. Friday, we got Broadview, 0-2, hosting Foam Lake, who is 1-0. Tomorrow, the Valley of Lumsden. Tomorrow night might be the place to be if you're not going to the Regina Pats game. Lumsden, 2-0, hosting 1-0. Moose Jaw, Vanier. The lights will be on. The Yetis will be out. Canteen will be open. So down in the valley tomorrow for a little high school football with the lights on. 1-0 Shaunavon. They are traveling into Indian Head, also on the 9-a-side side. 12-a-side, Friday, 7 p.m., 2-1 Balgoni makes the trek to Yorkton Regional. 5:30 start tomorrow. Swift Current is at Estevan. Saturday in the 12-a-side at Guthridge Field in Moose Jaw. 1-2 Peacock is going to host 1-2 Weyburn. On the Regina 12-a-side side, looking at the schedule coming up tonight, 5:15 at Libel. Martin Luther taking on Sheldon Williams. Then tomorrow, we got O'Neill and Miller going at it in the early game. Riffle and Winston Knoll. The Battle of Rochdale. Get the Trans Ams, the Cutlasses. Park them on the lawn. Let's go. Riffle, Winston Knoll tomorrow, 5:15 at Mosaic Stadium. The battle for Rochdale. Fort Johnson's going to take on Tom tomorrow, 7:30 at Libel. And then also Laboldus and Campbell, 7:30. That one at Mosaic Stadium. Warren Steinley brings it to you every week. The high school football report, Friday Night Lights. Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Leuven, always on Saskatchewan side. And again, if you have anything that you want to pass over to us, let us know. Hi, that's HI, at sportscage.com. Let us know the big rivalry games coming up, the home games. If you got a fundraiser going on, we'll give a shout out because we are all about supporting local sports in and around Saskatchewan. It's the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM. Riders releasing their game status and injury report. Sam Emelis available to play tackle football Saturday in Edmonton. Sean Bain Jr. is available. Thomas Berton Houdon is questionable, as is Dre McCrae. Nelson Lacombo is out. Shane Ray is out. Marcus Sales is available. And Kean Schaefer-Baker, questionable. Riders in Edmonton coming up on Saturday. CFL. Davis Alexander expected to throw for Montreal tomorrow. Vernon Adams expected to play for the Stamps. Montreal, 5.5 point on Proline. Calgary pays $3.40 there. Arbuckle is set to be back for Toronto in BC. Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Red Sox again tonight. The Jays took over first place in the American League East July 3rd. They have now lost 5 of their past 6 games after their loss Wednesday. The New York Yankees win over Chicago. The Yankees are now pulled into a tie. Local hockey, Saskatchewan Female AAA regular season. Regina Rebels at the Saskatoon Stars tonight. National Football League, Thursday Night Football. Seattle-Pittsburgh. I like the under, 43.5. And then the SportsCage.com poll. Do you agree with SportsCage analyst Charleston Hughes that the CFL should eliminate the Canadian player ratio? Well, that's going to get him. That's going to get him hot. Vote at SportsCage.com. Sports tickers for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Bundle and save with Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 in cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today. Did you hear what Charleston said?
Yeah.
I think we might. If anyone missed the show yesterday, like me, I did listen to it this morning though. Let me know, Colson, when you're ready to fire. Yeah. Stir, just kind of like your 4 down nonsense. Charleston stirring a little bit of pot. Here's him with Maz yesterday.
The one thing I would change, just because it was different back in the day, but it's different now, is specifically the Canadian ratio. I know that would threaten a lot of guys out there, and it would impact a lot of people. But back when I played in the CFL, the Canadian ratio was kind of really needed to maintain the integrity of the league, really, to remain the Canadian Football League. And the talent levels were at different paces back then, where the U.S. football players were, outpacing the Canadian football players. I think nowadays, it's not like that anymore. There's a lot of talented Canadian players out there right now, and guys are developed at a whole different rate than they were back in the day, back in my early years when I played. So that Canadian U.S. talent separation isn't really needed no more. Some of the best players in the Canadian Football League are Canadian. When you really, hands down, think about it, the Philpotts, the elite receivers out there that operate like that, like those guys, like both of his brothers, both of the twins. I mean, those guys are unreal right now. The Samuels. Guys like that are thriving in the league right now and playing at a very high level. And when you think about it, there are the team's go-to receiver over top of all the American guys. So when you look at that, and the talent in the league right now has nothing to do with the ratio. It has everything to do with his talent now.
I like when he first started that, although he's in like Wyoming or somewhere. When he first started that, you see he's looking sideways out of his vehicle to make sure. He's like, all right, I'm safe. Here's what I'm going to say.
He makes a great point. He really does, in that the talent level has become more similar.
The gap has narrowed.
Big time, especially at some certain positions. I would think that there's always going to be room for large guys to play regardless of where they are born, right? Whether offensive, defensive line. But I think we miss out on a lot of great Canadian quarterbacks just because we default to an American quarterback. I do. And Nathan Rourke's a great example, right? I mean, he's a really, really
Mason
good...
Nias could have played in the league.
Yeah. I still think Picton could have played in the league. Right? Mm-hmm. I sat with him and watched him talk about a game where Streveler was the quarterback. It was embarrassing what he was saying and what Streveler was doing. Right? He was so much further ahead than Strev, which clearly Streveler's shown.
Strevs can change an air filter, though. He's our guy. He's our mechanic on hand. I love that guy.
So I think the league, and as we have more American the fewer American coaches and more Canadian coaches, we'll see that change come on. I think you'll eventually see a team that has more Canadians than the ratio requires. Not only as starters, but on the roster as a whole.
Well, the Riders are darn near there.
They are. They're very much there, especially on starters, let alone, I think they start 9, let alone worrying about what position they play on the field. Before, they used to just be the offensive linemen. We get the Hoggies in here and then find a couple other guys to play safety. Now you can get them to play anywhere on the field, so I think it's very exciting for the league.
There's no name to this text message on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, and I don't know enough about this to say yay or nay.
Okay.
I do not know enough about this to say yay or nay either way. That's how I roll. Do your own thing. But this is going back to this text here, and we were talking earlier about data and stats and all that. Analytics ruined baseball with like 3 exclamation points.
If you use one or the other, you will fail. If you only use analytics or you only use your gut feeling, you will fail. You have to have a combination of the two. You can't just use analytics. Analytics do not tell you about the person, their work ethic, their desire, their everything else. You have to use both. If you use analytics, you can eliminate maybe some softer people in the mix. But if you go with your gut, you'll find the guys that are still as good as anybody in the game.
That is echoed a lot you hear nowadays in hockey.
Without a doubt.
It's like, okay, no, we got to follow the data. We got to go with the analytics. But
when we get to training camp, pick the best players. Yeah.
Or
the salary cap.
It goes down to like travel.
It sure does.
He can play in the East. He can play in the New York area because when he plays in Vancouver, when he plays over here, like there's just so many different rabbit holes to go down with all that. I live with someone whose master's is in data, so I get it, and I hate it sometimes. But then other times I lean on it quite hard. Hey, what does the data show on this?
Same thing at home.
Yeah.
Right? She goes, show your work. Back it up. What's your data?
Yeah.
Right?
Is it refined data? Or I'm like, I don't know.
It's just a number. I got a number.
Alone.
I'm going to my room.
I'm going to the backyard. No, it's I don't know enough about the analytics in baseball. I love the movie Moneyball.
I do.
I'll tell you that much.
But Moneyball was about not only the data, but it was finding the best guy to play that had the most heart, right? That first baseman they put in, nobody wanted him to play. He couldn't catch, he couldn't throw. Turns out he was still a pretty good first baseman for him, right? And had a great year. Giambi went to the Yankees for a bunch of money and was garbage shortly after that, right?
Glen Suitor texted me about 15 minutes ago. He's coming on to start the 3 o'clock hour.
Is he going to chew me out over the 4-down things too?
He wants to. He'll probably roll his eyes. So he wants to chat about. He talked to Nathan Rourke yesterday. Mm-hmm. So very curious to find out what Nathan. I think at this point, Nathan better. I don't want an apology personally. I want him to double down. Just keep going on it. If that's what you really feel. Go.
I wish Nathan would have. If he'd have stuck to the story of they didn't include us in the conversation, that you could buy into. They didn't talk to the players, that you could buy into. But to say that every rule change was garbage isn't right. Some of those are really, really good for the game.
It was Lori that was saying everyone associated to Bell Media is making this positive and ruining our game and taking it south of the border. Luke doesn't work for Bell Media. We heard his stance yesterday, which we'll have clips to play tomorrow. Luke's take yesterday, I texted him. Bravo. I clapped.
And I missed Luke's take. Give me the Coles notes.
You got to tune in tomorrow. It's online too. You can go back and listen to the podcast for him. No, he made some really good points. Scott Schultz doesn't work for Bell. He made some good points. Charleston as well. So the whole Bell thing, again, that's just the inferiority complex. It's like, oh, the big bad.
Every game has changed.
They're moving
every
us.
Game.
They're moving everything's going to the United States. Is it?
Really?
There's two things the same. So the Bell
minutes.
thing. Sorry, I on that text, I'm not with you, but again, you can have your say. You can have your stance. You can have your stance all day long. And then I would like to know too, if anyone's got data on all these people that are giving up their season tickets.
Yeah. If you're giving them up, please let us know. We'll give them away here from the stadium.
I don't know. Would it be in Saskatchewan as much as other places that
but
are?
If you're a Saskatchewan Rough Rider
can you
fan,
send us a picture, please? We need proof.
Send us your tickets and say, please give these away to somebody for the next game.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Little charity work.
Make sure to include your credit card number.
Yeah. Well, we don't need
too.
your credit card number. No, we don't need that. Just send us your tickets in. Transfer them to us. We will transfer them on to somebody who actually wants to go.
Because you said you were going to do it.
So do it.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Right? You just can't be all talk, and we'll give them to a nice charity.
Yep.
But if you're in one of the other markets.
One of these guys walking by the stadium here this time of day would love to go to a game.
We're giving away Rams tickets for Saturday as well. Kickoff 2 p.m. versus the Manitoba Bisons at Mosaic Stadium. We're going to throw in 2 Youth Ram hoodies and 2 water bottles. Keyword is Rams to 936-6262. It is a Sports Cage. That is it for hour number 1 for Access Communications on this Thursday. We're going to come back hour 2. We'll start with Arash Madani. We're streaming at sportscage.com, and we're on 620 CKRM. Thank you for making time today. I know a few of you are sending in pictures from out on the combine, harvesting, getting the crop off. We appreciate that. If you're listening on 620 CKRM, maybe it's through one of the audio streams or you're watching through the YouTube channel, sportscage.com. Sharky is with me on this Thursday for Flooring Superstore. Cash and carry prices can't be beat. Trent Dickin and his staff, over 20 years experience. You visit them on Park Street. Western Pizza Hotline is going to get buzzing here right away. Arash Madani is going to hop in. We're also going to talk about the Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation. Big event coming up next Tuesday on Truth and Reconciliation Day. What a lineup coming to Saskatoon. We'll talk about that.
To Regina.
To Regina. We talked about Saskatoon earlier.
We did.
Garth Malarchuk will be with us.
From the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I wonder what he thinks about the Blue Jays.
We will find out.
Things going down there. Sharky, if you're just tuning in, Sharky went at us in hour one with a sideways take on if you want to increase offense and scoring in the CFL, you add a down.
Add a fourth down.
Why not go 5 then?
Could do that too.
Be really different.
5 for 15. That'll un-American it fast.
If someone was holding a gun to your head.
Oh, not again.
Using that. Yeah. You're pheasant hunting and one of your buddies is and you had to get rid of one of the new changes. For you, what would it be?
The 55-yard line change. That's the only one.
Colson?
I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's the only one that, to me, they could do without.
Yeah.
Right? The rest all make sense, really clear, really good for the game.
Let's remember to ask Glenn that one.
Yeah.
We can even ask Arash as well. We're giving away Rams prize pack. Keep those text messages coming to it, 936-6262 if you want to go watch the Rams and Bisons Saturday afternoon at Mosaic Stadium. Are we ready to go? Yeah. Okay, let's get going with Arash Madani.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
Mr. Arash Madani, thank you for making some time. It's a beautiful day in Regina.
It is.
Again, another day. Really, it'd be a nice day to be golfing. I'm not sure what you're up to, but the last time we chatted, it was only a day after the announcement. So now we're sitting on Thursday. What are the main things now that we're into Thursday that you think are important to digest?
And Barney, I know we talked about this on Tuesday. Hey, Sharky.
Hello there.
Good to see you. Yeah, I agree with you on the 55-yard line point, by the way.
Thank you.
That's the one I would take away, too.
And
nobody can say this is... Well, no, but if you took away the 55... Barney, I swear I'm going to get to your question. If you have a 55-yard line, what of these changes would call this the Americanization of the game? Just the goalpost going back?
Yeah. That'd be the only thing you could complain about.
In a 15-yard end zone? Yeah, in a 15-yard end zone.
But theirs is 10.
That's what I'm saying. So that's not even Americanizing it.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that air quotes Americanizes it is the removal of the 55-yard line and just moving the goalpost back. Like the notion that they're not at the front, but they're at the back. Everything else to me is like, if they made none of these if they made one rule change in all this, just the modification of the rouge, nobody would say boo. Like, it makes no sense to be rewarded for kicking a field goal 30 yards wide and 20 yards long. You should be cut for that. You should not be awarded a point for that.
Well, no, I think
you've epically failed. Here's a point.
Right. It's
I think
Canadian of us.
if you said that to a grade 2 or 3 class, you explained it to them, they'd go.
Well,
actually, though, in this day and age,
they might want
everyone,
a trophy for
everyone
it too.
gets a medal,
and a
all
ribbon.
this, and it's like, what? Why did we do that? But another topic for another time.
What was your question again, Barney? Sorry. I just went off on a tangent.
I said, now that we've had a few days to kind of think about things, like what's important to comprehend or digest?
I don't quite follow or understand the narrative worry conversation of minor football teams, junior football teams, and youth sports teams believing they now need to change their fields. There are a handful of youth sports teams that use CFL stadiums. And I should really clarify that by the majority of those stadiums are actually owned by the university. The CFL team's the tenant. So, if I'm the CJFL, if I'm youth sports, if I'm Regina minor football, etc., I keep my 55-yard line. I keep my goalposts at the front of the end zone. I would still probably have the teams on opposite sides, but that's a different story for a different day. I would keep the Canadian game as is. We're talking about how many combined U Sports and CJFL games are played in CFL stadiums. Roughly over the course of a year.
In the West, Regina, Winnipeg, and Calgary, those three centers are all multi-purpose, used by both CJFL, U Sport, and the CFL.
Calgary.
So Winnipeg and Calgary, what a stadium.
It's been used by more than... Been used by a lot more.
Randy Ambrosie's first Grey Cup said, we're going to have a new stadium in Calgary. How'd that go, Randy? So Winnipeg and Calgary are... Well, Calgary's... The McMahon Stadium is on the University of Calgary campus.
So is Winnipeg, yeah.
They're on the University of Manitoba campus. So when the CPL, the Canadian Premier League soccer team, comes and plays at Investors Group Field, or whatever, Princess Auto Stadium now, they remove the goalposts. They put soccer nets in, they put soccer lines on the field, and then when it's over, the soccer nets leave and the goalposts go back up. Why would that not continue to be the case for U Sports and CJFL when the pro football team is just the tenant of these stadiums? This is what I don't understand the minor football people being up in arms about this. I just don't. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't follow.
Other than it takes them out of those stadiums if they're not convertible easily, right?
But you brought this up on Tuesday. Yeah. You brought this up Tuesday, Arash, and at that point I was one way, and then I went the other way. I'm okay with changing my opinion or my thoughts because someone is bringing a different opinion or facts or something like you said. And you said it should be on the CFL then. The only thing is Riders own how much of the stadium?
Their locker room, essentially, I think, is what they own.
And the city's the rest?
The city owns the rest.
City-owned property,
Yeah, and I stood on that goalpost on Tuesday, and I sent a picture to Colson where it can be easily moved, but they got to put it in the backyard because it's soccer.
Like, who cleans the stadium after a Rams game there, or a Riders game there, or a CJFL game there? It's the same as the grounds crew coming in to just make the modifications you need to make.
And now that they're going to need new turf at Mosaic, again, I'm just thinking out loud here.
Because they stitched theirs.
The new turf, can it be like they have at SoFi in Los Angeles, where they got to switch it from team to team, and there's videos of them painting Chargers to the, is that something they can do? Because, like I said on, I forget.
The simple answer is yes. The simple answer is yes. It's 2025. Yeah. The technology's there.
Exactly.
It's not
we got people living in space. I said that the other day. We can not figure this out.
No, but I mean, Morgan Wallen just played in Edmonton, and now they're going to play a football game there, and. I mean, the national men's soccer teams, some of their greatest triumphs have come at Commonwealth Stadium when it was grass. And then they were able to go play tackle football games days after. Like, we're not moving goalposts around with a couple days to spare. Like, I made this point to Barney on Tuesday for those who weren't watching or listening. Like, remember, we live in a world where you can play a playoff hockey game at 1 o'clock in the same venue you're playing a playoff basketball game at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
And the next evening you have a concert with pyrotechnics and a stage.
And possibly a circus in between, if we're talking about Madison Square Garden.
Exactly.
Sure.
They're bringing in elephants.
Yeah.
Because you talk to players and they'd be like, yeah, we were going for a game and all of a sudden I'm walking beside an elephant because the circus was just getting out. So... okay, we got a question here from Colin, and I'll throw this out, Arash. He said, question for all of you. Probably doesn't care what I think, though. What is the red line as far as additional rule changes that mirror more NFL-esque rules in the CFL?
Well, let's go through what makes it uniquely Canadian.
Everything.
3 downs.
Yep.
Right. 3 downs. Waggle.
Yep. 12 players.
12 players.
Yard off the ball.
Ratio.
Yep.
Ratio, yard off the ball.
Width of field.
Width of field.
Yeah, throw up this graphic I found online. A buddy sent it to me.
Yeah.
35-second play clock to 40-second play clock. Canadian ratio, rouge,
Careful,
no
Barney.
rouge.
Yeah.
5
Say what?
traditional kickoffs, new kickoff formations, 3-minute warning, 2-minute warning,
Better beer.
good OT rules, bad OT rules. That's subjective. Yeah, better beer, crappy beer. That's another big Canadian thing.
Tongue in cheek, without the beer thing, there are what? Let's put that back up for a sec. There's 15 or so bullet points.
How about that?
2 are similar or the same as the NFL. And I say similar because one's upright to the back of the end zone, except the size of the end zones are different.
I made this list right in front of me here Monday afternoon. And I said, okay, hold on. I'm going to do my own data research. See, I'm learning at home.
Yeah, you are.
From Mrs. S. And I went and I was like, there's 2 things. Unless you go 60-second clock, like 60 seconds is the game time, then that'd be 3. And I'm like, oh, wow. And I just went down and talked to people in the back here before we came on, Arash, and just to say, what's everyone thinking about the CFL rules? Very curious. And the one lady was like, boo. And I said, okay, why? And she said, so why do we have to be like the Americans? Okay, what is like the Americans? Well, the new play clock. I'm like, okay,
No.
it's not. Well, I saw on Twitter. Okay.
Saw on Twitter.
And then she said the end zones. Nope. Okay. So again, I think I don't know though. Are we gonna see a lot of people come back now that they've had a chance to calm down and really look at things? And the second part, how many people do you honestly think are giving up their season tickets in different markets right
None.
now? In Toronto, it doesn't matter.
None.
Yeah, I would have to venture it's less than 1%. I wonder how these things happen. I think they happen because when everybody was trying to speculate on Sunday when they said major announcement coming, this like social media kind of roar started that they're going to Americanize the game. And that just took on like kind of a life of its own, and the NFL's playing on Sunday. And then I think fundamentally what this has cemented for all of us is that nobody reads and nobody thinks for themselves.
No.
Nobody
You're
gets
exactly
themselves
right.
educated on what is actually happening. They see or hear one thing and run screaming about it as loud as they can about why it's the worst thing in the world.
Without a doubt.
That's the society we now live in general.
Hair on fire.
I can remember I was that person. When I found out I had to switch from BlackBerry to Apple, I remember I was no, this is so stupid. I don't want it. And then my wife said, come over here, bozo. Look at it's the same as your iPod.
From my cold, dead hands, you take that BBM device away from me.
What a time to be alive, Arash. Slide up the screen.
It was good.
Who's playing Brick Breaker now? You know?
Yeah. You drop that thing from your buddy's jacked up truck in Panoka, and it falls on the ground. You just pick up and keep rocking.
Yeah. Keep going.
More on CFL football. Vernon Adams expected to play. Davis Alexander expected to play. Calgary and Montreal. Looking at the line, Montreal is I think they're 5.5 at Sports Select on the pro line.
Their favorites?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vernon Adams, Calgary people, and Jeffrey's buzzing here on the YouTube chat. So if I'm a Calgary fan, I'm not worried. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Vernon Adams maybe getting a little bit banged up late in the season. What are you thinking there, Arash?
So I think that Montreal is going to be the team to beat in the East, not Hamilton, as long as Davis Alexander is healthy and performing. My only hesitation about this game is Davis Alexander has been on the shelf for a little while. How long will it take him to knock off the rust? Is it a quarter? Is it a half? Or is it a game? To me, in the first, 4 or 5 weeks of the season, what is that really? Alexander was the best quarterback in the league. Montreal was clicking. Now, how long will it take for them to get their mojo back? To me, that becomes the question. I worry about Calgary, guys. I worry about Calgary. I don't think they're very good. I've been saying that all year. And now, at what percent is Vernon Adams? I don't know.
Jeffrey wants to know why you hate Calgary so much. Seriously, he asked the question.
It's the opposite. What was it, Jeffrey?
It's more the city, the stadium, everything about it. You can be honest.
None of it. No, I don't like their roster.
I thought you were going to get salmonella from Pete's Drive-In once.
No, I lived in Calgary for a hockey season. I like Calgary as a city. At the end of the season, I looked at the depth chart. I'm like, oh man, they're not going to win 5 games. And then they surprised me early. And now we're starting to see their true colors. They're just not a very good football team. I'm sorry. And I think their defense now is being exposed for what it is.
I agree with you 1,000%. So, with that, the Riders are going to Edmonton, 10-3, right? 5-9 Elks. Is anybody writing off Mark Killam's team? Do they still have any life left in them?
I mean, they're in intensive care right now, Sharky.
Yeah,
they're in the
sick.
ICU.
Yeah.
And the amazing part is how quickly this could have changed. Like, they were 5-7 before the back-to-back against Toronto and Hamilton. And what happens? They lose on a kick on the last play of the game against Toronto, and then again to Hamilton.
Yep.
Like, they were starting to build some momentum. They were starting to go. The move to Fajardo. The offense was figuring itself out. They could run the football really, really well. If you're able to sneak one of those nail biters,
they're in the mix.
You find yourself at 6-8.
Yeah.
Now I just wonder, did the start of the season falling in that much of a hole and the back-to-back here, has that just made it too much to overcome? We're about to find out.
Because they got to win out. If they're going to do anything in terms of getting into the playoffs, East or West, they got to win all 4. And I don't see them doing that. And if they don't get up on the Riders, it's going to be too hard to chase. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Are we going to the Blue Jays now?
You guys, you take it.
People are talking about a free fall. I'm not so much a free fall guy. There's mood swings. There's things that happen within a season.
Because you're possibly intoxicated today. You're 4 down and nonsense.
I don't drink.
You brought up
show.
5 downs. You brought up 5
for 50.
If we're gonna get crazy, let's get really crazy then.
Nuts. Yeah.
Play with a Nerf.
Okay, are the Blue Jays in trouble, or what's going on?
Big trouble. You lose 6 of 7. When the manager comes out and says it feels like the sky is falling, but it's bleeping not falling, it means there's major trouble in paradise. Like, Vlad got tossed last night. Okay, Guerrero had not been ejected from a game since his rookie season in 2019. Like, 2019 is BC, before COVID. Like, that's how long ago it was. Then subsequently, the hitting coach starts losing his mind and MFing the home plate umpire, and he gets tossed. It feels like it's coming apart at the seams. And Sharky, I'm not sure if you saw this. Jose Barrios, who had just gotten moved to the bullpen, now on the injured list, MRI with an elbow. Is that Barrios actually injured? Is that Barrios telling the front office, to hell with you guys for what you've put me into in this situation? I don't know, but it's not good right now. It's not good at all.
No, the people, the Blue Jays fans, like I said, I was sitting with last night, are very worried.
Some calling for the end, but I still think this is just one of those little slumps. This is one of those things. Maybe they're still a little hungover from the party they had. They had a reverse, get back together.
One of the worst things in sports.
That is one of the worst things in baseball. That's for sure.
Okay, before we let you go.
But here's this real quick. The thing about the baseball postseason, like anything, you got to get healthy. You got to get hot.
Got to get
Blue
some
Jays
momentum.
are the opposit of that. Yeah. Blue Jays are the opposite of all those things right now.
Yeah, that's why Sharky was like, "Oh, they're in as long as they're in," and I'm like, "No, there's more to it than that." But you're chipping a chair guy. I want to show up to the table with as many chips as possible. Okay,
I got 5 downs coming up.
A couple of texts here. Are you got time, Arash?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Ron and Deb, they're always texting in. I think they text in every show, like every show in the country. Ron and Deb, the one to go is the 100-yard field. We sit in the corner. If you shrink both the field and end zones, Deb and I lose 10 yards of sight lines. End zone fans are also no longer on top of the action. Then they jump down with 1%. No, Arash. If your seats are in the end zone corners, your seats are further from the action. That ticks people off. My guess is that Arash does not sit in the cheap seats. There will be more than 1% that will drop out. Ron and Deb don't sit in the cheap seat. Maybe their seats are. They drive 8 hours from Alberta to a game each game.
Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get some like Ron and Deb. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Pro sports franchises don't care about the everyday fan. TV. What they care more about is that they're TV, yes, and they're going to put premium seating and suites on the field in the end zones, just like they do in LA, just like they do in Seattle. It's going to be a social gathering area. It's going to be more of a beer garden, etc., to try and get young people there. We live in a world where the NFL flex schedules 2 weeks out. Good luck planning a trip in November or December anywhere for an NFL game. It can change on you in a hurry. They don't care about the person, the ticket buyer. They don't, no matter what they say.
Las Vegas, I know some guys that sat in those seats on the field and those little suites on the field that they have. And then at the Longhorns game, which apparently you were at, we were in the same stadium in Austin, Texas on the weekend. Didn't even have a beer together. But I was on the field there for warm-ups, and they have that area in the back, the VIP seating bar barbecue thing. Oh, did it smell good? That's what's going to happen.
Sure it is.
But in the CFL, I don't know how many more people are going to, like his Friends Confectionery that we talked about earlier, going to buy a box. I don't know.
Somebody's going to move their box.
But you watch a Jays game now. All they're telling you about are all the social areas for you to hang out and mingle and this and that. Ron and Deb, I appreciate that you guys sit in your seats for 4 quarters. Are we going to change the game to 3 quarters while we're at it? 5 downs, 3 quarters. But I just don't think that the ticket buyer now is spending 3.5 hours sitting in their seat. They're looking for more when they come wanting to spend their time and money somewhere.
A great point. What else do you got, Barney?
I don't know.
You don't want to say it?
Movable posts may be an issue. Barney's West Side Saskatoon have concrete goalposts because the majority of them go missing by the West Siders. No, we were too busy grabbing your bike. All right,
that was a guilty laugh.
There was a guilty laugh, wasn't it? Yeah.
I've never wasted my time on goalposts.
So what we've decided is when the 3 of us yahoos run the league office, we're going to have 5 downs and 3 periods.
I like it.
And that's the way the CFL is going to go.
That's right. I like it. Nice move. 15 yards for a first down. 5 downs.
15 yards for first down.
Coast to coast with Arash Madani. Another pleasure. We'll chat with you next week, my friend.
See you,
not on Tuesday, though. Right. We're not doing a show on Tuesday. Truth and Reconciliation Day. We'll figure it out. Okay.
Thanks, Arash.
Arash. Coast to coast with Arash. For Brian Gawley. Smart investing solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley. Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533. We got a bunch of text messages to get to, but let's go to a break first. We're going to come back with our Clutch Performer and NASCAR report.
Like it.
It's a Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com, and we're on the mighty 620 CKRM. Do you guys have one?
I do not.
Clutch Performer. Colson, do you want to do Cal Raleigh? 60th home run.
Nice.
I got to switch over.
We had a debate this morning. Before we go to it, let's see if where Sharky would land in our production meeting, which you never attend.
Is it like the safety meeting that I don't go to?
No, Campbell Safety Consulting. They handle all our safety needs. Okay, how many players? Name the players that have hit 60 home runs in a single season in the major leagues.
Sosa, McGuire, Bonds, Judge.
No. Yeah.
Judge.
Yeah.
Obviously Maris.
Yes. One more. Easy one.
Easy one? I'm missing an easy one?
One of the most famous baseball players of all time.
Like Babe.
Yeah. Sharky.
There we go.
That's clutch right there. Because this morning.
That was pressure.
I'm not going to say the name. And somebody said, Cal Raleigh, I'm not a baseball guy, sorry.
I'm looking him up.
He's the only 3 guys have hit 60 home runs, and they said Judge, Maris, and Ruth. And then I'm sitting there going, I don't follow a lot of baseball, but I was working on TV when Sosa, McGuire, Bonds were all doing their thing.
In the 70s,
and I remember cutting highlights in the special, and then it's like, well, there's an asterisk there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, the steroid thing, whatever. Yeah, but you're correct, my friend. You want to go to if you're watching the stream, here it is last night.
Fly ball to right field, number 60!
I got goosebumps watching that.
A catcher has hit 60 home runs!
And the crowd's chanting MVP too.
That's a solid home run
Your
call.
MVP moment, Cal Raleigh!
MVP moment, Cal Raleigh. That's first off, to hit 60 home runs in Major League Baseball is an outstanding accomplishment, whether you're taking drugs or not, right?
Oh, that's what I said this morning. I mean, your hand-eye coordination is still going to be so on point.
And this guy doesn't look like Judge. This guy looks, right, like he could be packing bags at Sobeys, right? No offense to Raleigh, but that is not the physique I thought of a 60 home run hitter.
And then quickly for Nick's service, Emerald Park, the clutch performers. I had this emailed in the other day. Sorry I didn't get to it. hi@sportscage.com. Just Horizon Golf District results. Tylen Wallen from Humboldt shot 73 and the senior boys won. Trice Wallen, probably related, shot 72 was second. I don't know how we finished second after 72. Maybe it's a handicap thing. Senior girls from St. Brew, Trinity Platte. Danica Bodnarchuk from Wynyard was second place there. Junior males, Jack Ellis from Bruno. And then junior females, Alexei Melstad from Wynyard. So there's some local love on the golf front. Thanks for sending that in.
Love it.
Clutch performers for Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. Here it is, NASCAR report time.
The SportsCage NASCAR Report, where rubbin' is racing, is brought to you by Croft Electric. 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all your electrical needs. Visit croftelectric.com and on all socials.
Interesting week in NASCAR. Week 4 of the playoffs, and the Toyota domination that we saw in the previous 3 races, over. I asked last week, do we see the rise of the Fords? And we had a better finish in week 3. The answer is yes. Ryan Blaney wins the New Hampshire race. Penske Ford teammate Joey Logano took 4th, and Josh Berry and his Ford redeemed himself, but much too late after he finished dead last in the 3 previous races to be eliminated from the playoff race. Toyota teammates Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe were 6th and 10th, and Chevys took the top remaining 5 spots in the top 10. An interesting thing happened in the race. The challenge is Denny Hamlin and his teammate, the grandson of team owner Joe Gibbs, driver Ty Gibbs, were racing each other. Gibbs wasn't interested in letting Hamlin pass him. Hamlin's in the playoff race, so Hamlin said, young fella, it's time for you to spin out and go into the wall. And so there he went. So Hamlin ended up rubbing Gibbs off the track, spinning him out as he thought he deserved the pass. He's chasing the championship. Gibbs is not. So there'll be an interesting meeting in the garage this week as grandpa and grandson and driver take a little chat.
You know who I saw on Louvain today? And I honked and waved, and I thought they were going to run me off the road because he didn't look impressed. And I gave him the thumbs up. The guy in the lone wolf truck.
Oh, really?
It's still around.
It's still there.
So, yeah, I thought he was going to run me off Louvain.
Can you imagine that conversation in the driver room where the owner says, let the grandson win? Hey, we now move to Kansas for race 2, field of 12. This is Kyle Larson's track as he has dominated over the last 8 races. Hendricks Motorsports has this track worked out. They finished 1, 2, and 6 of the last 8. The field of 12 has seen 4 fall below the cut line that will need a leader to wreck or to win a race to advance. They're already several points behind. Ross Chastain's 12 back, Austin Cindric 19, and the teammates from 2311 Racing, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, are 23 and 27 back.
Okay. Sprinkle of the day. We're going to be starting this for our friends at Sports Select. Legal betting. You all know it.
Supporting
you love it.
Saskatchewan.
The heritage that goes along with it. So now, and I found this out, they got futures on Sports Select, and it's never been easier. You go online, everything's there. Whether you want to play the pro line, the over-under, you want to do combo tickets, it doesn't matter. So there's futures for the Hollywood Casino 400. That's this weekend.
Okay, in Kansas, yeah.
Kyle Larson, the pro line odds, 370.
I'd take that.
And he said, you said that's his track.
That's his track.
Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin are 6.
Where's Chase Elliott in there? You got Chase Elliott?
You're probably going to get some nice odds on
or William
Chase
Byron.
Elliott. You got 1550 odds.
Chase Elliott would be a nice pickup here, or William Byron if he's there.
So all you got to do is you click it off right now on sportselect.com on the right-hand side. It generates a QR code, and all you got to do is take that to your Lotto Spot retailer, and they print the ticket.
Nice.
How is that for 2025? Yeah, Sports Select.
You can bet the top 4. Oh, I like this.
Heritage. They've been around. Visit your local Lotto Spot retailer. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. I might be going here, and I might. How about Tyler Reddick, Pokey's boy?
Pokey's boy is in trouble. The 23-11 team has not run well. Pokey's 23 points back of the cut line. He'd really have to have a race. He'd be a long shot.
How about George's boy, Christopher Bell?
Christopher's in the mix. He is. He's in the. If you could bet him finishing 1, 2, 3, that's how I'd take that.
SportsSelect.com. Get it done there. All right, we're going to talk hockey and a massive event coming to Regina next Tuesday. So we'll talk about it when we come back. It's a SportsCage. We are on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM. All right, before we get to the Western Pizza guest hotline and talk to Garth Malarchuk from the Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts, let's go to the text line here. There was... where was the one that I said we had to talk about? Sid in Lumsden. Why are we hung up on changing fields? Wouldn't it make sense to mirror these rules for university and junior teams so they can prepare for pro? This is usually the case for every league. When changes are brought in pro leagues, the universities follow suit. Change is necessary to stay current of the time. In any business, failure to change and adapt is sure death of the business. Love the show as always. Sid near Lumsden.
Hello, Sid. Thanks for listening.
It was a well thought out one.
And Sid's right. If you don't adapt and change, or if you don't look for ways to make your product better or your service better, you're going to be in trouble, right? Anybody that says we've never done it this way before, leave them at the side of the road. They don't get to come along. They're
Gary in Winnipeg is remembering the 2019 NFL preseason game, Oakland and Green Bay. Someone should ask Wade Miller, what was the cost to convert the field to NFL standards? Wasn't there a bunch of issues with they didn't want to play because there was
where the goalpost was moved, there was a piece of turf they thought was loose, and
that's 6, that's 7, 8. It's gonna be 8 years once everything rolls in here. If we go,
I don't see. And I said this to you earlier. The NFL is not considered, worried, issued, looking at, listening to the CFL. Do you think that the NFL brass is sitting back right now going, man, those guys are making some smart moves up there. That's good ball. No, they're not care. They don't care at all.
That's where this text message come in. Didn't leave your name, though. Don't be afraid. Of course, it's an invitation to have American football come up like preseason. American money, baby. I would say the NFL just played in Brazil.
Yeah,
and the NFL's going to London, and Ireland, and Germany, and they're playing in all these places. Like you said, do you think somebody down there is going, oh, we really got to take a game here? Where is that?
The NFL's worried about the CFL like I'm worried about the health of my ex-wife. That's the comparison I can make for you.
What a line. Can we go out of there? And we got it streamed? You figured it out? All right. Western Pizza guest hotline. Perfect night for Western Pizza. Generous amount of toppings on all their pizza or just any of the Greek favorites you'd like. Coming up here next Tuesday, it is the Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation celebrating Indigenous hockey in Regina at the Connexus Arts Center. Garth Malarchuk is joining us. Garth, it's right around the corner now. The one thing that I saw is the auction on right now. People can go and scope out if they want to bid on anything.
Absolutely. We've got the site set up on our website, the link. So if you just go, if you Google Western Pro Scouts, you'll find our website. It's the Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation. And it's on the homepage, the link to the auction.
I'm on it.
Sharky's going. He's going to let us know what we can bid on right now. What a night. Brian Trottier, Dave Tiger Williams, the King brothers, Ron DeLorme,
Morasti. Morasti's who I want to see.
Joey Tedorenko, Buffalo Head, is coming in now too. Like, it is going to be unreal, Garth.
I think it's really special. And you know, there's some significant events going on over the banquet. Brian Trottier, we're going to have a blanketing ceremony for honoring what he gave to the game of hockey, and outside of hockey as well. He's heavily involved in giving back to the community, and I believe he's setting up a program with the NHL that's going to be helping Indigenous youth moving forward. He's a real special guy. And then we're also going to have two of the NHL trophies there, the Hart Trophy, and coincidentally, Trottier won it back in 1978, I believe. That's the MVP award for the NHL. And the Willie O'Reilly Trophy, Brent Dodginghurst was a recipient of that award over this last year. So,
will Trottier be singing? That's what I want to know. Is he bringing the guitar, and will he be singing?
Well, that is something that we're him and Billy Melville. Billy Melville's the head of the Chuckwagon Association. I know they've sung together before in past events, so we're going to see
what do they do. Hall & Oates?
No, I think they do a little Kenny Rogers, Little the Gambler. If you saw Trots with Clark Gillies, that was their favorite.
Right on. Maybe a
country and western.
People want to go and come on Tuesday. You got a nice meal that connects us, and then the hot stove. We talked to Dennis Bayak a couple weeks ago. It is going to be great. Just the stories are going to fly around. Tables still available, seats still available, and you also had some partners that came on to really help here in the last few weeks, Garth.
Yeah, we've had some sponsors step up and donate some money, so we were able to lower tickets, which is it gives some people an opportunity that may not have been able to come. So
Ron and Deb come into town.
Yeah, one of the major sponsors was Edmonton Volvo, so pretty significant. And then also Boss Lubricants, Murray Flagle. So.
So tickets available, like you said. Google Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation. It's coming up Tuesday night, Truth and Reconciliation Day in the country. Any closing words? What are we missing, Garth, here?
Well, I just think this is a historical event. You tie in the significance of the day, the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Willie Littlechild, who's coming to speak on Orange Day itself, he's probably one of the most honored Indigenous chiefs in Canada. And he said it best. He says there's never been an event like this before. And it is hysterical. And the Indigenous athletes that we have coming in, they're all, they speak for themselves. They're all great people. So
I'm on the auction. This is outstanding.
Okay, what are you eyeing up there?
Well, we got an autograph piece by who's the lead singer of the Hip? Why is the name escaping me?
Gord Downey.
Gord Downey. It's a Gord Downey autograph.
The late Gord
Downey is an autograph piece on here. There's some amazing trips. You can go to Calgary. You can go to the Hall of Fame. You can go to an Oilers game. There's some amazing paintings. There's signed jerseys. Bobby Orr's got some signed stuff in here. Like, this is good stuff.
Take a picture with the Hart Trophy.
Yeah.
How about that too? And how about that trip to Toronto on the Hall of Fame weekend? You see Boston, Carolina, tickets, free airline tickets, hotels looked after, and the forum at the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Let's go.
The Clark Griswold signed Christmas vacation jersey is in here.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, Garth. We'll keep plugging it away here. Looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. It's going to be and then all the money, and then they're giving the money back to the community.
That's right.
That's another major thing that these guys are doing. The Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation. Okay, thanks so much, Garth. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Take care.
Go through some of the.
Yeah, go through some of the trips.
Trips? What have I got? Well, there's a trip to Mexico. 5-night luxury Vendetta vacation. I don't even know where that is.
That's just outside Puerto Vallarta, that golf course. It's like Vendasta?
Yeah, that looks...
Or no, not Vendasta. That's a...
Vendetta.
Vendetta, yeah.
Vendetta,
they host
right?
a PGA event in February.
So then, live auction. Here we go. We got the Manitoba Fall Classic, Predators, Jets, Riders, Bombers. Blue Rodeo is in there. Holy smokes.
That's all in the same weekend in Winnipeg?
Yeah. Hang on, preview.
Winnipeg,
I'm clicking the preview. Blue Rodeo concert October 16th, Riders Bombers 17th, Jets Predators on October 18th. Includes 3-night accommodation in Winnipeg Downtown Delta Hotel. Right? Literally, in 3 weeks, you're going to Winnipeg. What an event.
I'm going to Winnipeg in 3 weeks anyway for hockey.
There you go.
Silver Heights.
Yeah.
Unlimited tap. Okay, we got to go to break here. We'll come back with that. It's the Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com. Rough Riders releasing their injury report and game status for Saturday in Edmonton. A couple of note. Nelson Lacombo is out. Marcus Sales out. But we do expect Sam Emelis to be in the lineup and play. Also available, we talked about all week, Philippe Gagnon on the offensive line. It does look like Kean Schaefer-Baker is questionable and Tavon Campbell is officially out. As for the NFL, tonight there's week 4 starts. Interesting one. Seattle taking on Arizona Cardinals. I don't know. What do you like there?
Where are we? In Arizona? Mm-hmm. Take Zona. In Arizona?
I'm going under. I'm just sprinkling under. Local hockey. Saskatchewan female AAA, Regina Rebels, the Saskatoon Stars, 7:45 start there. The Red Sox and Blue Jays go again. Things, if you're a Blue Jay fan, I know you're a little bit
they're okay.
Paranoid.
They're okay.
Sharky says you're okay. SportsCage.com poll today. Do you agree with SportsCage analyst Charleston Hughes that the CFL should eliminate the Canadian player ratio? You can vote at SportsCage.com. Sports Ticker is for extreme hockey and sport, where they have the price match guarantee on and all the sporting good items you need. They're local. They've always supported local extreme hockey and sport in Regina. All right. I said, how many times today did I say I wish I was golfing?
Oh, a lot. If I have to hear about it again.
No,
I don't wish I was golfing.
Ryder Cup starts tomorrow.
Yeah, you had a story you wanted to tell me about Ryder Cup.
No, I got a story about Bethpage Black, one of my favorite golf courses. It is such a monster. It is awesome.
It is really, really hard, right? Isn't that the one they all hate? Yeah.
We can talk about that in a bit. Let's go and talk to Brian Raymond, Flowing Springs. Again, Brian, it's got to be busy out there. Please say it's busy out there.
It is busy out there. This weather is unbelievable. I mean, can you think about this? February 25th, and we're talking, 22, 23, 24 degrees, and it looks like it's going to be like that for the next week or two. So, yeah, this is awesome. I mean, and really very little wind, which I keep mentioning that because isn't that a big factor in Saskatchewan?
Every day, Brian. Love no wind.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So does this weather like this and this outlook, does that maybe make you guys keep it open longer, or do you have a set day that you're putting it to bed?
We have a set day. It is October the 13th, which is Thanksgiving Monday, and that's after that we're closed. And the reason we do it that way is you never know what's going to happen after that, and the days become so short, but it gives our staff about 10 days to 2 weeks to do a really good job of putting the golf course to bed. And the last 3 years, the golf course has been in fantastic shape, and we think that that's part of the reason.
All right, let's not get depressed on this. We still got 2 weeks or whatever, more than that, to golf. Let's get people the specials quickly here, Brian.
Monday and Wednesday, ladies and seniors. Seniors are over 60. You pay just $39 to come out and play the golf course. We still have the Twilight specials. After 3 o'clock, it's only $38, and after 5, it's only $22. We have a 9-hole rate as well. It's available any time of day. So, some great ideas about coming out. You're right. Days are running short, so get out and see us.
All right, Brian. Book online, flowingsprings.com, or else give you a call. We'll talk to you again next week.
543-5050.
There it is.
Thanks,
oh, man. I'd like to be out there right now.
Oh, wouldn't it be good?
With a cold beer in hand.
Can we get cold beer delivered to the studio? Is that offside?
Canadian beer.
Is that wrong? Yeah.
Okay, Glen Suitor. He talked to Nathan Rourke. We're going to hear from him after 5 o'clock. Also, we're still giving away Rams tickets for Saturday. It's Sports Cage. We're on 620 CKRM. Hour 3. of the show on Thursday. Sharky is alongside, and Sharky is brought to you by Flooring Superstore. Trent Dickin and his team in Regina can help you out with anything you need flooring-wise. All of our guests are joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. The show on Thursdays, like he said, for access communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Okay, but back on the Prairie Land Rentals text line for a bit.
Yep.
I'll let you handle this one.
Oh, boy.
Analytics ruined baseball. And I said, how? He said, sorry, I wasn't watching the YouTube broadcast thinking it was today's. I disagree with the guy going on about CFL rule changes using analytics. Baseball managers now use analytics for when to pull pitchers. What happened to rhythm and the gut feelings? Same goes for the CFL game. But you got to use what's available.
I said you can't use one or the other. You got to use them both. Right? You've got to. If a guy can't pitch against a certain guy, that might be the time to pull him. If he doesn't have any success, if your gut feeling is that this guy can go 2 more innings, or your kicker can make this kick today, that's what you got to go with. You can't use one. You got to use them both. Both are part of your success. If you start just limiting your feedback and your knowledge to one system, you are going to fail. There you go.
I know Glenn's waiting. Kim from the grain cart. Maybe I'll get to this one in a bit. It's longer here, and I got to decipher. They're just not easy to read. Long time. You're seeing this. You're seeing what I'm dealing with here.
The text
They're so hard. It's like 20 words or less, or split them up is way easier. Kim kind of did that. I'll try and get to it.
Barney's from the west side of Saskatoon. You got to limit the amount he's got to read at one time. Yeah.
Oh, you could say goodbye to your rims. Let's go with Glen Suitor.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Rough Rider legend Glen Suitor on the SportsCage. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
Literally just passed off to us, Glenn. Breaking news in the CFL. Unfortunate news out of Edmonton. The passing of their owner, Larry Thompson.
Yeah, just before, like literally a minute ago, I got the exact same text sent to me. This is very sad. The thing about Larry and his taking over the team, buying the team, going from a privately owned or going to a privately owned team rather than a publicly owned team. He's been a lifelong fan of the game, like just of our game, of the Canadian Football League. And it's just really sad news. And again, it's so new that, and I think I'm okay to not completely trust what happens on the phone, but if it's true, it's devastating, and I'm thinking about their family now.
It just seems like yesterday that we announced that he bought
the team. Yeah. Very sad day. For his family and the league, because he was taking on that team and making changes, and they were turning the corner. So
a season ticket holder with his family his entire life. I mean, from the time he was a kid. So it was an owner with the sincere love of the game and of that city and the whole thing. So we'll see. We'll update as we go. So
sad news. Unfortunate there. Glenn, I know you texted me earlier and I didn't ask any questions, and I said let's just talk about it on the SportsCage. Let's give the people what they want. You had a chance to talk to Nathan Rourke. Take us through that conversation.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of stakeholders across the country, not just the games I'm doing this weekend, and Nathan was the first one because I am doing the Lions game. And, we spent half of our Zoom call talking about these rule changes. And let me just say off the top of what an articulate, passionate Canadian that Nathan really is. And yes, had it worked out for him in the NFL, he would have gone and made life-changing money and is still definitely, could be playing in that league by ability. But so would I. You know, if ABC Sports called me and said, I'm going to give you Tony Romo money, I would say, guys, I got to go. Sorry.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. I'm sorry. I'm on my way to do 18 games a year and make $39 million or whatever the heck they're making down there. So, you know, we talked about was the concerns that he has. And let me go through three of them, because I think they're legit. And I stand by what I said on Tuesday, which was I was proud of him for doing it. I'm glad to see him and fans be passionate about the game. And here's the concerns. Number one is, and again, I'm paraphrasing here, not quoting him, so let's keep that in mind. But number one is that by changing the rules, Stuart Johnson has implied that that's the issue, that with the business side of the game. And yes, we all know we need to improve the business side. We need to have more fans. We need to have better ratings, all of those things. But the concern for Nathan is making rule changes implies that the game is the reason that the business is struggling. Whereas the game is fantastic. And there's other things that you could go, 10 shows on in opinions on how to improve the business side. So that was one of his concerns, and I think it's legit. The other was the speculation. It was is this the first step to much more aggressive steps and turning our league into American, the U.S. rules, 4 downs, 11 players. And you guys, you've been talking about this for 3-4 days now. You know that a lot of the concern here from everybody that's concerned, and I'm one of them, that this could turn into more, severe rule changes like 4 downs. So that was the second one, and I think the third one is also totally legit, is that he felt that, forget about who the commissioner consulted with, because he consulted with people, that know the game, and he would have definitely done that. He's a smart guy. But he said, whenever we go to change a rule, whether it's a player safety issue or it's a penalty or something like that, it goes through the rules committee. And there's a reason for that. There's a process to it. So it goes to the rules committee. The rules committee debates it for a long period of time. And then that rules committee advises the board on what their recommendations would be. And then the board then votes on any of the changes that might come up through the rules committee. So he said, one of the concerns, again, I'm paraphrasing here, but one of his concerns were, why wasn't that process part of it? That if we're changing rules in other areas of the game, including player safety, there's a process that goes through the rules committee, and it looks like that it wasn't part of this process for these rule changes. So, those were his three concerns, and to be honest, I think they're all legit. And again, I am really happy with people that are passionate about protecting the differences, the uniqueness of Canadian football, and he was the leading in that regard.
I'm not going to disagree with those 3 points, but what he said on Monday wasn't those 3 points. That's why I think he put himself in a bad spot by being so gregarious with his points.
Good word.
Big. I'm using big words today, right?
Yeah, I just wrote it down.
But he had this big statement, but this is more refined, right? This is more defined in terms of what he wants to have happen. I don't disagree with the rules committee. I'm not worried about the Americanization, because all he's got to do is go to a high school football game in BC and they play 4-down football. So it already exists in BC, right? So there's other changes here that they made that I think are really, really good. The biggest one for me is making the stadiums the same and making the officials the same every game. Those two for me are home run hits.
Yeah. And, and I think with regards to how he said it a couple of days ago, think I didn't ask him about that, Sharky, and I should have, but the how he said it, if you think about the way that the world works now and the social media bites and how when that quote is out there and all of a sudden, bam, everybody's talking about that particular thing and it goes viral. He's a smart guy and he's a savvy guy, and I didn't ask him, but my guess would be there was a little bit of a plan behind that. There was I want people's attention here. This is a guy who just beat Russ Jackson's single game passing yards record for a Canadian quarterback, and there's a real patriotic side to him wanting to speak up the way he did, and I admire that. I really do.
I still don't agree with it, and I'm like,
with what he said or the rule?
No, how he did it that day, 24-hour rule, like parents, hockey teams or sporting events. Secondly, hold the paranoia train.
Yeah.
Like, really go into why. Maybe find out why they did it. Who was involved? What is the end goal? Let's look at that instead of just flying off the handle. I think nobody is trying. Okay, here I go again. And I'm like, the Americanization of the game, we can go through the list. There's two things that are the same. And then there's people messaging in about, this just gives a chance for Americans to come up and da-da-da. It's like, they just played in Brazil.
They don't care.
They're playing in Europe. They could give a rip about us. Our dollar is at like 42 cents. Whatever. They're
not worried about.
They can come up here and just buy it all.
Yeah.
This guy
with their empties.
Somebody texted in. I believe the commissioner should be more involved with getting a 10th team, another Eastern team. I really think that there's got to be some sort of wheels in motion with that.
But it's a park.
He downplays it.
Is the biggest thing.
He downplays it.
Yeah.
But it has to be in motion. If we're going this hardcore, sorry, Glenn, on the changes and we're making the game more exciting, and we are going to do these changes, which we have seen how the ripple effect and the tidal wave that came and the people on either side of this. Now, anything with expansion, it's not going to shock anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Especially if it's an American owner.
Who cares? If it's an American owner that's paying 50 cents on the dollar or whatever, go nuts.
Go nuts.
As long as there's some sort of long-term guarantee.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the thought of expansion with the 10th team in the Maritimes has been an issue for the last administration and will be for this one too, and one that they're going to work on. It's just, you can see over the first 150 days that it wasn't the priority, because this was a,
this was a priority.
This and what we saw on Monday. I mean, this I'm sure that took up all of their time and oxygen when it came to meetings and how that would be presented and all the things. So, yeah, I don't think for a second the thought of a 10th team is going away at all. I mean, that's for a lot of reasons they want to be coast to coast in our country and the schedule and everything else. So there's that. But the one other thing about the and I think your poll question goes along with this too, with the Canadian ratio, because that was to me one of my pillars. Of course, on Tuesday we talked about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
12 men, 3 downs, the final 3 minutes, and the Canadian ratio. Those are the real pillars for me. And the developmental side of giving Canadians the opportunity to become the stars and some of the best players in the game. And, we're seeing it even in the quarterback position evolve with Nathan. I think if you lose that, you are closer to the XFL than probably any other change. I mean, 4 downs would be the other one. You go 4 downs and get rid of the Canadian ratio, you're the XFL. And we know exactly what has happened with every one of those FLs in the last 30 years. Those FLs don't work.
if Vince McMahon can't make it work, and the money and the marketing power and all that,
nobody can make it work. Hey, Glenn, of all the changes and rules and otherwise, but the change to the 50-yard line being center instead of the 55-yard line, this is the one I can't go, yeah, I can totally buy in because it does this, right? That's the one change that I'm like, somebody needs to help me. What is the biggest one for that change?
Yeah, I think, Sharky, the biggest one is that when they shorten move the goalpost to the back of the end zone, part of the shortening of the field from the end zone point of view was so that a kicker doesn't have to get to the 20-yard line to make a makeable field goal. With a 20-yard end zone, that's a 47-yard kick. That's not a chip shot. So you have to get all the way to the 20. That's going to take points off the board on average. So that, in combination with the middle 10 being taken out, make it a 50-yard line. Now you've shortened the distance that the offense gets the ball on their own 30. You've shortened the distance for them to get into field goal range. So there's not quite as drastic as a drop in average scoring.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Because that's been holding me up. That's the one that I'm like,
And they want more gambles. They want more offense.
Yeah.
They want you to go, sorry, kickers.
Nobody cheers a punt.
Okay, the punters' parents do. Coffin corner.
And Barney, I've been saying this for me is, I agree on a lot of the points that Nathan made in our conversation. And I did a survey of a lot of different stakeholders over the last 48 hours. And I won't name any of them. And it's more than just the 4 teams I'm working with this weekend. And I can guarantee you one thing. The Rules Committee is going to be adamant about maintaining the final 3 minutes of games. This is not a 50-50, a couple of guys said this. This is 100% nobody wants to take away the opportunity to come back from 2 scores or get all the change of possessions in the final 3 minutes that we see to have these great finishes. So some of the people that are really worried in the speculation department, like what if they do this, what if they do that, what if the final 3 minutes isn't the same? Who knows? The Rules Committee will meet at the end of the year, but I will tell you that from my survey of a lot of guys that are on the Rules Committee, they don't want that to change at all, and that's unanimous.
Is there any chance? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
You got really angry there.
Well, I just think, and I said this to you earlier, I think the CFL had a chance to take whatever the change might be and go to U Sports or the Canadian Junior League and say, can you do this for a year and show us what the difference is going to be? Can you do this and tell us as coaches how you strategize differently for this?
What's in it for us?
Well, but, I mean, they're the development for the CFL. They want their guys to come here, right? It's an opportunity for them to get a closer relationship with the Canadian Football League and the CFL to see it happen.
I'm finding that relationship isn't that great.
Yeah,
I'm
Sharky,
just an outsider.
I honestly really wish it was that simple with regards to having that kind of partnership. I will say that when I don't believe for a second that Stuart Johnson didn't talk to the people that are involved with the movement of the goalposts, the people that would be involved with redoing fields and stripes and paint. And I heard you guys talk at length with Arash on this, and I would agree that there's no way if there was some sort of huge roadblock like this might not happen. I mean, look, this is a big deal for Stuart Johnson too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is 152 days in, and you don't think, I don't think for a second that he is going to go, oh, you know what? At Mosaic we can't move the post, so we'll just scrap that idea. The Canadian Football League is going to make this happen somehow in conjunction with amateur sports, junior football, college football, anyone that shares a stadium. The other ones, though, and this just, again, opinion that agreed with you guys, is that The rest of them, when you're not sharing a stadium, the rest of them, don't worry about the rules. I never played a down of Canadian football, not one snap, until I got to Saskatchewan after being drafted. Not one snap.
It must have been so difficult to comprehend.
Well, I played corner in college, Barney, so I always use the sideline to my advantage.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So I came up here and I was playing corner against scout team in my first training camp, and I looked over to the sideline and went, whoa, that is way over there.
Couldn't even see it. Where'd it go?
The weather's different over there. No. Okay, let's quickly let's go to the games this weekend. I want to start. Should fans in Calgary be worried here, Glenn? What's going on? Vernon, back issues and them stumbling a bit?
Yeah, I would be. Yeah, a little bit. And here's why. I think even if Vernon Adams is cleared to play, because they're going as far as Vernon will take them. Like, let's be honest. If he can regain the month ago form that he had, that team can beat anybody. Now they're going to miss Flo Rimolade. That's a big loss for them on the defensive side. But when Vernon was playing that way, they could play with anybody and look like they, we were talking about them as the best team in the league at the time. So them in Saskatchewan. So, I think that's important. But with what he's gone through with his concussion issues, when the medical group clears him and he feels like he's good to go, which it sounds like is going to happen, like this week, I think there's still with concussions, there's an effect on your confidence. It's a little different. And I had a few in my time, but even when you're cleared and you feel healthy and you don't have any dizziness or any of the symptoms and you're ready to go play again, you get out there and you're not quite as sure as you were. You're second guessing things. It just doesn't. And he looks like he's playing a little bit like that right now.
You're reluctant. You're reluctant to do that one more thing.
So you really didn't answer my question. Should Calgary fans be worried?
He did so. He said yes.
Okay, you did just say yes? Okay. Yeah. And hey, no slouch coming up in Edmonton here. Edmonton's are desperate. Desperation is a stinky cologne, as Scott Schultz says.
Well, and Edmonton has 4 Western teams to finish the season. Wow. Edmonton has Saskatchewan, of course, which I'll be doing this weekend. But then they have BC and Winnipeg and help me here. I think Calgary. Yeah. And no, they don't have Calgary. They have BC. They have 4 to finish the season. They have 4 Western opponents. I can't remember the order.
Whoever they might be. Yeah.
But yeah, well, hang on. You know what? I'm working on my charts right now. I'll tell you who they are. They play
Riders, Bombers, Lions. Stamps.
Riders, Bombers, Lions, Stamps. Thank you.
That's Coulson.
So, Coulson. So there you go. So, those are the 2 points that they can get, and the 2 points the Western teams can't get or don't get if they beat. But they're going to have to run the table. I mean, Edmonton has to run the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no question. 8 or 9 wins is going to be what gets you in the playoffs.
There we go. Okay, well, travel safe. Travel safe this weekend. I'm sure people will want to talk to you when they see you in airports and all that. So maybe be mask guy in the airport. So go back to mask, low hat, Glenn, and just sit in the corner of an airport, or else you're going to be bombarded the whole time. So the rule changes.
Guys, we are 3 days in now, and I haven't returned near half of the text messages and things.
So I feel special because you're returning my stupid ones.
Yeah. Hey, and any update on Bob?
Yes. Actually, just today, Bob was spotted about 2 blocks from here, so I'm fully expecting him to see him tonight.
All right.
There we go. All right, Glenn. Have a good weekend. Travel safe.
Thanks, gentlemen. Take care.
Press coverage with Glen Suitor for Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. Bronco Plumbing and Heating, you can call 781-2090. We got a load of text messages to get to here if we can, and we got the SJHL report coming up.
Holy smokes. How do we fit it all in?
It's the Sports Cage. We do magical things over here. Streaming at sportscage.com.
Colson.
Sad news out of the CFL. Edmonton Elks owner Larry Thompson has passed away at 65 years old. As for the Riders, they were on the practice field today and they're releasing their injury report and game status. Tavon Campbell will be out for the game. Nelson Lacombo will be out, as is Shane Ray. Kean Schaefer-Baker is questionable. We have Philippe Gagnon as available, Sam Emelis available, and Thomas Bertrand-Houdon is questionable. NFL football tonight, Thursday nighter. Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals on a 100-yard-long field. 6:15 is kickoff. The Pro Line tie is 3:20 on Sports Select.
Really?
And that's usually a 3-point game when these two teams meet.
Hello.
Local hockey, Saskatchewan female AAA regular season. Regina Rebels up in Saskatoon to take on the Stars. And the Jays and Red Sox started at 5 p.m. Do we got an update on the score on that, fellas? Anybody?
Looking for it.
While you look for the score, sportscage.com poll. Do you agree with SportsCage analyst Charleston Hughes that the CFL should eliminate the Canadian player ratio? You can vote at sportscage.com.
After the second?
Scoreless. Yeah, end of 2. Yeah.
Scoreless after 2. It is for Steelcraft Doors in Regina. Made in Western Canada for Western Canada. Steelcraft Doors now into their new location. Go and visit them on Park Street.
Sorry to steal your thunder, Colson. That's bad of me. It's very bad of me. It's rude.
We're going to get some of the text messages here. Let's talk some hockey.
Pretty soon we'll talk some hockey.
SJHL Report is back for another season. Close on getting a sponsor for it, too. I'll probably have that next week. Benny Walchuk, voice of the SJHL. Okay, Betty, first off, opening weekend, SJHL. Before we get to the power rankings, attendance. I heard it was up, awesome, whatever you want to use, everywhere.
It was awesome. Yeah, first off, started in Warman. Of course, the first ever game at the Warman Communiplex there. They had over almost 1,500 people at the game, which is outstanding. The community was great. The only thing that didn't really go well, they had a big goal celebration ready to go, and they didn't score a goal. So they didn't have any fireworks or anything going on. So that was the only thing going on. But then you look around the league, of course, Yorkton, one of the bigger franchises, they had almost over 1,700 people. Malville had 1,000. You look around the league, I think 4 or 5 or 6 teams had over 1,000 people. So it was outstanding, and a lot of people tuned into our broadcast as well on the radio across the league, and also tuned in on Flow Hockey, which is the provider online streaming as well. So it was just a great weekend all along, and some great hockey to boot.
All right, let's go to the power rankings. And we talked last week, and we thought Nipawin's going to have a solid year. Melford, of course, Humboldt, Weyburn. But top of the power rankings, I'm seeing the Flin Flon bump. A guy told me the other day, said, I think Flin Flon's going to be good. And I said, no, I don't think they will. Well, I look dumb now.
No, exactly. I know they played the Laurent Geisels. Of course, Laurent is going to be a younger team this year. There are a lot of rookies in the line. I'm not saying that's what the opponent was, but still, it's a game that Flin Flon, they do have a lot of returning guys, but not guys that played big minutes last year. So these guys are kind of getting an elevated role. And Mike Reagan always pulls into his bag of tricks and gets 2 or 3 very, very good players from Quebec. Xavier Fauchon, one of the top candidates for SJHL Defenseman of the Year. He's had a good start. And then Devin Peck in between the pipes, a netminder that came out of nowhere from outside of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and he came in and had 2 very good starts against Laurent. So it's a team that's an older team. They brought it in. You got Ryan Ulmer, of course, from the Regina area, former Regina Pack Canadian. You had Hudson Brio, who's from Whitewood, so he's up there filling in those 07 born birth years. So those guys are stepping up here in a big way. So it's a Flin Flon Bombers right now. After week number 1, they've had the best team. They had a 2-0 record, and they are the best team right now after week number 1.
It's probably too early, but maybe if a guy could sprinkle, or girl, on this going into the season, who would be the people, or who would be the athletes, the front runners from your eyes for maybe a MVP, top defenseman, top goalie?
MVP right now, probably going, you probably say Jacob Stritzy, a guy from Quebec, big 6'3" forward. He had over 28 goals last year with Humboldt. Very, very power forward, can really shoot a puck. And he's had a good start with 3 goals in 3 games that way. You look at Anthony Campbell, the captain of the Battleford North Stars, a guy that came in last year from the AJHL and kind of lit the lamp there with Battleford. And that's a team that's going to go flying under the radar right now. So those are a couple of guys right now that kind of standing out. Maybe going into the season, they've had good starts this season as well. So those are a couple of guys. And defenseman of the year, you look at a guy like Gavin Granger. I know you easily look at the top scoring right now in the SJHL, and Gavin Granger's right there, but he's been taking leaps and strides each and every year. He leads the way with 7 points in 3 games. And then you look locally for ourselves, Boston Harkness, a guy that's in his 4th year at Emerald Park in that Estevan Bears program. He's got 4 points in his first 2 games. So then keep looking down the you talked about Xavier Fauchon Flynn Fano, I think is going to be right up there. You have a guy like Oakley and McElwine from the Humboldt Broncos is right, can be there as well. So those are the defensemen. Then goaltending is right now, it's easy to pick right now. Charlie Stritt has been the best goaltender in the league right now. He's 3-0 on the season with Humboldt. He's got 2 shutouts in those 3 games, so he's been very, very good. But maybe outside the radar, I'm going to go with Gage Roberts, a guy out of Nipawin, a guy that came in and played very, very well on a struggling Nipawin team the last couple of years. And we could talk about Nipawin taking that next step. And if they want to take that next step, Gage Roberts has to be one of the best in the league. And he's had a good start with a big win over the defending champions on the opening night of the regular season. So those are a few candidates. If you want to sprinkle a little bit of money on those guys right now, we'll see what the SJHL commissioner. I don't know if he's going to approve betting right now, but we'll see. Yeah, that's kind of my choices here early on.
if he's probably just happy. The commissioner's happy. He's not the commissioner, something else right now. He's just taking it all in stride. No rule changes for the SJHL. Game of the week, if we were going to circle one, am I looking Friday night Flin Flon Nipawin, or what are you thinking? Melford Flin Flon on Saturday?
Yeah, I was thinking about this before I came on. There's a lot of choices you can make. I was circling that Flin Flon Nipawin game on Friday too, with top teams right now in our power rankings right now. You got Weyburn Estevan, the Highway 39 rivalry is always a great showdown. You got Malville Humboldt home and home this weekend as well. So it's good the weekend, and the weather's still nice, and the guys are wrapping up harvest. We'll wish everybody the best there, whoever's tuning in here from the combine here the next couple weeks or so. But if you're not, come out down to an SJHL rink, and you're definitely not going to be disappointed when you come and see kind of the action happening around, not only on the product on the ice, but also the in-game entertainment too. It's been outstanding.
Kudos to that. I went to 2 games last year, and they were both blew my expectations away. One was a playoff game. So, okay, what games are you doing this week? Let's give a plug for, what is it, on GX?
Yeah, we're on Friday nights. We're going to be in Malville for our first Mills broadcast, the Humboldt and Malville. So Humboldt's had a good start, 3-0. Millionaires 1-1. Could easily been 2-0. Maybe a couple of lapses there on Saturday in Estevan. But I'm doing Friday nights. We'll be on the air 6:50 on GX. Puck drop at 7 o'clock there from the CN Community Center. So not a long trek for me here this weekend.
All right. And in closing, as a sports guy, what was your favorite rule change coming to the CFL?
Oh, boy. Oh, this is interesting. Being a football guy and coaching football, I'm trying to think about what would happen with me. I don't mind the play clock thing. That was interesting. I don't mind the goalpost moving. I don't mind the rouge. Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, it's not – I like the way they've interpreted the rule right now. Like, I don't want you to miss a field goal and win. Like, I don't like that stuff. I like if you can't get out of the end zone. My brother lost the provincial championship for a rouge type in 2002 to Delisle. So that's one that's gonna you get a little bit close to the heart here in people in Malville Cobra land. But
did he ever rebound?
They barely. Every time he goes by Delisle, he has to do the little spit on the floor a little bit. But I don't mind the post back either. I think it's providing more offense, like the NFL we see with the post back. Because you know what? Everybody said it doesn't happen very often, but I've coached the last 3 years. It's happened 3 times to us here down in the red zone on our games here in high school. So I know it doesn't happen very often. It did cost the Riders a few years ago, but I think the changes are good. I think some people just have a little bit of overreaction.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be talking about it lots around the rinks too. People will be coming up wanting to pick your brain. Just keep those headphones in, so then they can pretend that you're just listening or something. All right, Benny, have a good weekend. We'll catch up next week. Travel safe.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Right on. Benny Walchuk, SJHL Report, here on the home of local sports, the SportsCage. We're streaming at sportscage.com through our YouTube channel. Always on 620 CKRM. Access Communications. On Thursdays, Access Communications is trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security.
And in my man cave.
And Sharky's Man Cave. And Sharky is here thanks to Flooring Superstore, Trent Dickin and his team. Cash and carry prices tough to beat, or if you want someone to do the job, especially if it's a insurance claim.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Your contractor doesn't need to direct you to where to get your flooring.
Yeah.
You can go wherever you want to get it.
Smoke and mirrors.
Listen,
man.
buddy. Yeah. I get my own flooring from
I got a guy.
Flooring Superstore, and they're local. Okay. Text line and YouTube line. Colson, which ones were jumping out at you? The one that from someone in America sent it in. I haven't even talked about Austin last week and the trip and the football game and all that. And we might not. We might save that for another time. Oh, yeah. The Canadian ratio to us Americans is woke football. So that's a comment from an American. Sea Lightning, hot and heavy today, coming in. He says, say hello to a boring coffin corner kick. Easy, Sea Lightning. Those are exciting. What if he could sprinkle on coffin kicks?
Maybe that's what they're going for. They're going to create some in-game action.
It is. It's tough to do. There's no doubt about that. On the other side, Roscoe sending us pictures of his IPA beer, and I said IPA beards are for long beard and bike lane guys.
Yeah. No.
So he sent a different one now. More
Coors Light. There we go.
We don't have a beer sponsor yet.
Well, if we're not going to get one if we don't talk about plugs. We got to show them the benefit.
By making all these non-Canadian rule changes may deter an Eastern franchise. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Nope. Might actually inspire an Eastern franchise because they don't have to build as big a stadium.
Kim from the Grain Cart. Can you talk about something for a sec while I read this one?
What do you want?
I need to proofread it.
Okay, so
give people that are just tuning in your idea on why it should be 4 downs. There, and then we'll get You have to double down on it.
The point being, if you really want to expand scoring in the Canadian Football League, add a 4th down. Think of how exciting it would be that they've got 4 tries to get to 10 with the wide field and the 12 players. That's what I think about when I think about expanding scoring, is adding a 4th down. I know for many of you that is sacrilege and you want to hang me somewhere, throw stones, maybe some tomatoes, eggs, whatever the case might be. I live on a little acreage north of town. You can find it out there. But please don't dismiss that idea if that was the only change.
Okay. Kim's on the Grain Cart.
Okay.
He need more offense? ? Add a 4th down? ? Know what else will add more offense? Take 1 minute off. Take one man off the field.
That's a big field for that. That was my suggestion to the NFL. Play on the CFL size field.
It's a version of bandy instead of hockey.
Yeah.
Change? ? Need more offense ? Sure. Let's shorten the baselines from 90 to 80. That's a better comparison than saying that each stadium is different size, which we all know is done for political reasons.
I don't think it's done for political reasons.
It's
done for construction reasons.
You guys heard how to boil a frog? I know you need online engagement, but come on. When you start effing with the CFL field, you start to add heat to the pot of water with the frog in it. I could almost find a way to live with the smaller end zones if they hadn't eliminated the 55-yard line. That seems to be the one.
But Suits explained it well. He really did. He explained it well, that you're closer to getting in field goal range without it.
That's what I said earlier, and then you said, no, it's better for the punters. And I said, I need to see it. I need to see it play out. Arash made really good points again on, he thinks, is this Greg from Piffle's podcast?
Yeah.
Work that he did the other day?
Figured I'd grab it for tomorrow. But if you're looking at the stream, it's Mosaic Stadium with the new field dimensions superimposed over the old field dimensions.
Look at how many boxes in the corner that you have. The Saigon by Night box.
Yeah.
Friends Confectionery, like we said, their box.
Yeah. Joe's Plumbing and Renovations. Yeah, they're in there.
Joe's Plumbing.
I'm just making that up.
Probably Flooring Superstore would have one, knowing them.
Jolly Roger.
The Jolly Roger would put one in. Wouldn't it be nice?
Win tickets.
Swing by the Roger. Get your game tickets. You're right on the field.
Yeah. There's so many different. Yeah, and that's really interesting. I'm very curious on the turf and when.
Here, okay, so and I thought about this yesterday when I was driving back, listening to you guys talk about the turf issue. If they do have to replace this turf, and again, it would be slightly before the 10 years is up. Mm-hmm. That does not mean this turf is garbage. It just means by pro football standards, it needs to be replaced.
I think some places, they donate their turf to another. Like this turf they could put it in a park in the Northwest Regina.
Well, or that park right behind Luther College where the kids play football. Right between
Optimus?
Is it Optimus Park?
Yeah,
right between there?
Yeah, great spot.
That's a great spot for that turf to go.
That's where I used to play men's league.
Exactly, right? So now we got a field at Leibel, we got a field at the U of R, we got a field at Optimus Park. What a great move.
It's sad we don't have, and it is expensive, and it's an expense thing. We don't have more field turf like in the States. I'm probably in Eastern Canada too.
Even in BC, there's tons of it.
Yeah, because once it starts raining,
you can't play on those fields.
No, especially in Regina. Like when I moved to Regina from Saskatoon and we're playing and it's like games canceled because of the fields. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it rained really hard in North Regina. We're playing in the South. And it's like just arbitrarily to shut down all the fields, and then you get to kids when I started to have kids and then they got involved. And I'm like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I get it. And there's probably one person making the call, but we need field turf because then you can play.
But it's an opportunity to take that turf and reuse it for kids and minor football and stuff throughout the city. I think that's a fantastic move.
As we talk about this more,
if Regina fights it, send it to Moose Jaw.
And if we Lumsden, if you think about this more, it's just more field turf for the soccer to play on anyway, because soccer is
booming,
huge. It is the sport. It is where the country is going.
It's a very easy sport to get into and play, right?
And it's so international.
That's right. Yeah, it's a very easy sport to start. No contact, just run around, kick a ball, right?
Oh, you look at, you go to the elementary schools and you see what's going on basketball. It's like, whoa, like there's grade 8 kids slam dunking basketballs.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, my son, they were in the final last year, the Catholic school, and I forget what team they played. The other team had 2 kids that could dunk. Have fun, Roman.
What's Roman, 5'3"?
I'm just yelling at him. You gotta get on him. You gotta
guard that guy.
He's 5'8", but 6'1" and a guy with hops. It was amazing.
Wow.
And it's so cool. So right away I tried scouting him. I tried picking him up for our flag football team. Like, have you ever caught a football before?
It's an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity for that turf to be reused in another place, and great for kids, whatever community it goes to.
Yeah. It's been really busy. Have you awarded the Rams package, Coulson? That's it. Yeah, we gave away tickets. Rams are in action Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff, Mosaic Stadium against Manitoba. Gave away the package today. Two youth Ram hoodies, 2 water bottles as well into that. And then don't forget the Thunder are playing. We'll talk more on the Thunder tomorrow because Greg from Piffles Podcast is in.
September 30th, next Tuesday, the big dinner at Connexus. All the Indigenous hockey players are going to be there. Hot stove. I'm just looking forward to John Morasti, and I've been told by everybody he is going to be the comedian in the room and the one with the best stories. So,
I don't know. Have you ever Joey Tedorenko's hilarious?
I don't know
man.
Joey. I haven't seen him. So yeah, it's going to be a fun night.
Rich Pilon will tell stories. Rich Pilon will be telling stories when we're on the air Monday afternoon. He'll still be at the Connexus telling stories.
I like it. When we had Rich on, he was really, really good. It's going to be a lot of fun. Are you going? Yeah, I'm going to be there. Yeah.
It's at the Connexus. Still tickets available. And they discounted tickets. They sent it's the
Western Canadian Pro Scouts.
Yeah, just search it in Google. Western Canada Pro Scouts. And then if you want to bid on any of the silent auction, this is where it becomes a slippery slope for me. You can click on that as well.
Yeah.
I see the Tragically Hip Salute to the Crowd print poster or painting. That is, and it's autographed.
It's already gone up since we looked at it.
Mexico Dreams Vacation. Lots of jerseys, custom frame jerseys. Boston Bruins Phil Esposito canvas print. That's in the Canada.
That's a Teams Canada 72 print. Yeah,
that's a good one. Brian Trottier signed jersey. He's going to be there. I wonder if he'll personalize it.
Sure, he would. He's probably one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. Well, that's without a doubt.
Really?
Yeah.
Jordan Nolan,
Better than
Carey
you and I.
Price, Theo Fleury, Connor Bedard. Yeah.
Tiger Williams will be there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, and you can go get tickets, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, that pretty much wraps it up today. I'm back tomorrow. Thanks, Sharky.
You're welcome.
For the
That's what I do.
for the 3 hours of entertainment. I'm back tomorrow. Greg from the Piffles podcast is going to be here. Rob Vanstone's going to drop by with his dog in the show. Wes Cates and Maddox Schultz as the Pats get ready for their home opener tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your engagement on the Prairieland Rentals text line. Appreciate it. We don't agree, but it's okay. We can still chat. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.